Go Beaver! Away!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this ETF2L Season 32 Playoffs cast. This is Division 1, not quite Prem, but we have two really good teams playing against each other. We have the number 1 seed, Clarted, going up against the number 4 seed, Beyond Ora Elektro. Joining me tonight is going to be Wiethoofd on production and eepily in the co-casting chair. How are you doing, eepily?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty interested to see what happens. We were just having a little chat before the stream went live about how Div 1 is, like you said, it isn't quite a full premiership, but there are a lot of Prem players. There's a lot of talent, like all throughout Div 1 this season. I think these playoffs are going to be really interesting to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels like Div 1, it's like littered with previous Prem players, and it was just like there's just not quite the same level of commitment in Div 1, and so like it has almost the same amount of talent. It's just people are just not taking it quite seriously as Prem. They're not making the same kind of active team effort to improve as much. But like these are the top teams, so they're probably doing it.
Yeah, no, exactly. I said I think the vast majority of these players wouldn't feel out of place in terms of that lower end of Prem. Most of these teams could, more or less hop in and they'd put on a decent chance of contesting, those kind of 6th, 7th, 8th spots. But like you said, I'm interested to see kind of how things get started. It's always enjoyable catching it right at the start of the playoffs, because these first games, if you can start kind of racking up some wins now, win a couple straight in a row, like that gets you through the grand finals. Like it gets things so much easier than kind of going through those lower routes. So I feel like even though it's fairly early on and no one's getting knocked out at this point, there's still like a lot to play for, and there's a big advantage if you do win. Indeed.
We've got some STV info going, so everything's looking up here. So let's talk a bit about these two teams. So we have obviously the number 1 seed, Clarted. They're going to go up against Beyond Ora Elektro. So if I start out with Clarted, we have on Medic we have Cars, Demo Man we have Maddie, Pocket, Charlie, Roma is going to be OJ, and then the Scout we have Vori and Gas. And what do you make of that team?
I mean, it's a team which we've seen in one form or another kind of for quite a few seasons, really. Like they're, not quite in this exact state, but the majority of these players have played with each other for a long time. They've been those kind of, fairly stable in Div 1 for at least a couple of seasons. I believe they did really well in Div 1 last season. They may have ended up kind of, I swear they made playoffs some kind of iteration of this team. I'm not 100% certain, but in terms of individual skill, I think you've got a lot. I think you've also got a lot of that kind of, team coordination and synergy. It's not just some random team full of DMers you've just kind of thrown together. They do kind of know each other. They have played with each other. They've kind of, built up a little bit of that, they're going to be like at least fairly in sync with each other on the scale of things.
Yeah, absolutely. And then going up against those, we have Beyond Ora Elektro, and they don't have a neat roster lineup listed on the page, which is annoying. But I assume. Let's see here. So we have. Is Eskimo playing? Probably not. No, Kelvin's probably on Medic, right?
Yeah, I believe Kelvin is playing Medic. They were warming up with Viljak on Scout, so I don't know if. Presumably they're going to be playing with Merc Scout. Not quite sure who's going to be out for them, but that may well be pretty significant here. Other than that, we have, like I said, Kelvin's going to be on Medic, looks like Gunnar on Demo. We have Lanza and KN on Soldier. It's difficult. It's difficult working out what is going on at this point. I think Luna's a Scout as well. They don't make it easy, these Div 1 players, It's not organized like these Prem rosters. This is the difference between Div 1 and Prem, okay? Organizing your rosters, just like that. That's what you need.
Yeah, they... well, they're probably just, playing all sorts of different classes throughout the season. Who knows? Either way, I will admit I haven't been paying too much attention to Div 1 this season. I have been way busier just keeping track of all the top leagues around the world. So that has meant that my attention to Div 1 has just slipped quite a bit. So apologies on that front. But I'm sure it's going to be great.
I think it's going to be good. It's definitely Div 1's been in a really weird situation. If no one's had a chance, have a little look at the Div 1 tables right now. You'll see that there's a lot of teams very, very close together. They only had 6 people in the division come the end anyway, so playoffs are looking like super weird. But there's been so much trading maps back and forth that I feel like as much as right now you've got a first seed versus a fourth seed, I feel like there isn't a huge skill difference between any one of those kind of 1, 2, 3, and 4 spots. So it's a little bit different kind of seeing this as opposed to previous seasons where usually you would expect that first seed to just absolutely roll the fourth seed. But I think it's a lot closer. Like those top 4 are like super kind of mushed on together, you know?
Yeah, inconsistency is the name of the game so far in this season.
What a rude way of saying it. Truthful though, truthful.
Yeah, it's really, really close and very unpredictable. Is that a better way of putting it?
Unpredictable. I like unpredictable. That's a good one. I like that.
As long as your mind is put to these, I'm happy to help. But yeah, looks like the first map's going to be processed. Did they actually do like a map pick and ban process?
Yeah, I believe. I believe they did. I know we've definitely got 3 maps. We've actually got the bans in as well. So we're going to have a little discussion about these picks and bans. From the looks of things, first team to ban was Ora Elektro banning Snakewater. So the way that the bans work is they basically will float a total of 3 maps come the end. So it's a little bit weird that you don't ban 2 apiece, you already ban 1 apiece. So Ora Elektro banned Snakewater, Clarted banned Granary, and then our first pick process was a Clarted pick. So that first seed gets that first pick, they pick process. Ora Elektro then picked up Logjam, obviously kind of a bit of a wild card map for the season. And then the decider, should we go there, will be Sunshine, also picked by Clarted. So I think it definitely shows some of the thinking of Clarted when it comes to, you've obviously got process, and a lot of people will consider Sunshine effectively a slightly altered version of process in terms of how it plays. So I feel like they've clearly thought to themselves, okay, we win on this style of map. Let's just like frag, let's just pump heals into our scouts. Let's just, play that kind of, beam on scouts, use soldiers to like take position, throw them away like once the fight starts going a bit, whatever, keep your scouts healthy.
It definitely smells like we have the better scouts, so let's just pick those type of maps, right? They ban out Granary, which is a map where soldiers can sometimes just go really huge on, and that definitely clues me into their intention here. Of course, and Logjam could be a bit of a different issue. It's always difficult to tell because it's a relatively new map. So what exactly is the dynamic on that map? How does the scout fare against soldiers? What can the demo man do? It's all pretty difficult to tell just immediately because there's always these tiny little details that can change things. But I do believe that we actually saw them lose against the German team. The former Wer das liest ist doof team that I can't remember right now what it's called.
I believe it's basically the same thing. I don't know. Don't make me say
it is Wer das
Don't
liest
make me
ist
say
doof.
it.
All right,
Thank
okay.
you. Don't make me say it. I can't do the accent like you. I just sound stupid.
Well,
it's a rough life beater. It really, genuinely is. But no, I agree. When it comes to like Logjam, because it's a newer map, like we're seeing teams in Prem look really, really shaky still, and that's going to be these teams which are like sweating it, grinding out those demo reviews, like taking a look at things and kind of trying to sort things out as much as possible. And like you said, Div 1 it feels like they've got nearly just as much talent in a lot of the teams, but they don't have that same commitment, and it just feels like Maybe from the Ora Elektro point of view, they're thinking, let's play super scrappy, try and catch people out a little bit, and just trust that, our understanding of this map is just that little bit stronger. I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting to see. It's definitely like, I don't think Logjam's going to be a consistent map we see in playoffs between Div 1 or Prem. So it's nice to see it in this first game, just at least, if nothing, we'll get one game on it.
yeah, sometimes you see people just kind of default to the safe maps that they know that they played a lot. So they'll just pick like Gollywa's Process and Snakewater ad infinitum and just try to get rid of all the weird maps in the pool. So just avoiding those like the plague. But I do feel like you can make use of it. If you come in as the underdog, you can definitely just try to take a chance and pick any kind of weird map that they maybe don't have very good experience on, and they will just not be as well organized on it, because it's very easy to just not quite have things bolted down into like who covers which flank, who makes sure that nobody sneaks behind when we do this, and when we push, who watches the behind lines. All that, like all these little things that they will generally have on lock, but just maybe not completely. There could be these little nooks and crannies that they won't check properly, or they just won't rotate fast enough because they don't realize that a certain area plays in a certain way in a certain situation. There's like these very small things you can make use of.
Especially like on Logjam, because Logjam, like from mid to second, you've got 3 really distinct routes, but also they're really quite far apart in terms of how they're spread. So it's kind of thing where, like, you know, say there are harding spots, there are weird things that can happen. You've got I think really the best teams on Logjam are teams which can really maintain control of all 3 of those routes, and that is by no means an easy thing to do. So I think we may well be in for a little bit of a DM fest if Logjam starts going a little bit awry for your boys in blue right now. In terms of process, I think they will be ready up fairly soon. We've got about 11 players just waiting on this 12th. I feel like we gotta give some predictions here, you know, based on our next to no knowledge of what's been happening in Div 1.
I like it.
I think we're gonna throw out some wild predictions, you know. We've gotta make it interesting. Whatever you say,
Yes.
I'm gonna disagree firmly.
Yeah, all right. Well, look, they're the first seed. They're way better. They're gonna crush them. All right. There's no doubt in my mind. Clarted is gonna win this. They're gonna win like 5-2 on Procets, and it's not even gonna be that close.
That's obviously absolute nonsense. Clarted don't stand a single chance in the world. This is going to be a game where Viljak, the Merc Scout, just gets completely carried away. He's just going to obliterate everyone. Between Lanza and KN, they're just going to absolutely just, like, they're going to be airshot on people everywhere. You know, Vori is going to go 1 for 20. This is going to be, like, not a chance at all. That's my prediction. I have no idea, Peter. I have no idea.
Well, neither do I, but you're definitely wrong. So we've got that
wrong.
sorted.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. You know, I'm good with that. Like realistically speaking, like, you know, Clarted, like they should be more of a team. They have at least equal firepower. It feels like with Ora, they should be able to clutch it out at least on like their own map and, you know, kind of take things from there. It always feels quite nice if you get that first pick, if you go into your map pick first, and then if you can win that map, I feel like your entire best of 3 feels so much nicer, because that second map, like if that kind of, you know, a bit kind of goes away from you and you end up losing it and things a little bit like stress, whatever, I feel like you're always in a situation where it's like, nah, it's fine. Like we have a map, it's fine. Like, you know, we always have like third, it's going to be like, you know, it is like no worries. Whereas like if you lose first map, you're always on edge. Just like, okay, if we now lose a round, we're 1 round down. Like, you know, we've got to make something happen. Otherwise we could lose the whole game. Like it puts you really, really on edge. I think getting that first pick is really good in terms of like a, you know, psychological point of view for the teams.
Yeah, but I think a much more pressing issue is that do you think they have like too high of a density of toxic Brits on their team? You know, like is that going to be the doom? To just they have too many Brits. It's just going to be like a toxic sewer dump just in their mumble, just going crazy once things get a little bit dicey in there. Whereas on the other side, or Elektro Beyond, we have like a double finish combo. Like that's a winning combination. We know this for a fact. Just looking at other successful teams, you need 2 finished players in your team. Otherwise, what 100%. Are you doing?
See, I would agree that the whole, you know, the toxic Brit mentality can be an issue if you start losing, right? If you start off winning, what happens? That toxicity turns into what they call lad swagger. And then you just swag all over the enemy team. They get really annoyed. It's kind of like a reverse toxicity. You're like so toxic to your own team that everyone enjoys it, and then the other team sees that, recognizes it, and they just get ladded all over. I feel like, you know, as long as things don't go away, that toxicity won't even come into it. If anything, it'll be like their real strength. Oh my god, what a way to start things off. Toxicity, lad swagger, whatever, we have it. We're going to be going live here on First Map of Process. This is Beyond Ora Elektro versus Clarted on this first of our upper bracket round 1 Div 1 playoffs. Going to be seeing some. It's faster, gonna get into mid here. Charlie's gone super deep behind, all the way towards the enemy PC, and he's already pretty weak, so he's gonna go for that big bait mid where he just plays behind and waits for his team to kind of push things forward. For Clarted though, they've got to be looking to be moving forward at some point.
Charlie's finally in action. Look at that. just walks in and gets down the medic. He took every single med kit behind lines, and now there's even a scout joining him back there. That's Gaz. Just gonna go in there, and the medic has somehow made it up onto the high ground there. So Cars is super safe. Everyone just dies, and Charlie actually got a 4K on that mid.
That really confused me. I genuinely thought that, that Ora Elektro were going to start moving forward. They were going to think, you know, maybe they didn't even recognize the soldier was behind them. It just felt like they were doing absolutely nothing. But we actually have a little bit of a, not quite spawn camping, but there's going to be some crit hills being removed right now.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how Charlie, he went all the way in behind last, got the med kit, and then jumped back behind into sewers and got the med kit there as well. And then he went in, and the medic was still just like standing there. They hadn't made it forward, so it was just so slow in actually getting forward. And so they just played with one person down the entire time, and it didn't matter.
Yeah, didn't matter at all. Looks like this push is going to be going in though. Uber gets to use Vori. I'm super early though, so that's not good at all. Using a scout to that gun, a little bit of some dodgy flashes going on, but Ora Elektro's going to have to start moving out of this spawn. Heavy starting to move towards things, but points is being played by this demo. He's just going to camp it out from under them.
Just stood on it, and there were no stickies, and nobody jumped onto it in time. It just seemed like they didn't quite realize that it was that serious of a threat, and the pain train came in really large there. And it's going to be a very quick round, and maybe the lad juice is going to start flowing now, because they are up now with a very quick round. And they're already complaining about servers and stuff. So, good times.
Yeah, we got angry complaints of ping and lag and all that kind of stuff. Doesn't matter. We're going second mid here. We're going to see not quite the same mid from Clarted here. That's going to be playing standard 6 versus 6 on this mid. So much damage towards Viljack. Matty is getting some beastly damage towards his left-hand side. He's basically completely uncontested. Only now these soldiers come in, but they're just getting obliterated. That's just brutal. It's just going to be Gona and his medic all alone moving towards second. Kelvin's going to get shot up into the air.
Oh my God.
He will actually get the sword though. And he might even get out here. He's 34 HP. He's got his Uber towards Bobby going all the way far left. He's going to be chased a little bit by OJ, but OJ's weak as well. Oh, he's not going to go for the chase.
He actually made it all the way back there. Gets the saw. Oh wow, he actually got arrowed all the way in spawn there. He's going to pick up a medkit there, but that's really clutch. He got the saw.
Matty is on spawn. I'm so sorry. He's literally standing on right spawn by himself. Stickies don't do anything. No one's there. He gets taken down. No demo for red.
He tried to make a play there. It's probably not the biggest deal here, but there will be no stickies actually when they push out, and Village is just going to take it in super deep right now. And oh my God, Charlie has gone down as well. Cars is trying actually to just wrap around, and they're all the way on last, and they've just Ubered in, and there's only a single scout in there. What?
It is. They have both their scouts and their medic completely behind Ora Elektro, but Ora Elektro don't care at all. They've just capped second. They're going to start moving towards mid at this point. KN's going to have to hightail out of there, because there's no way he's fighting both these scouts all by himself. He's going to get mulched towards grass, and now Gona, a little bit left there as well. He's going to be dying. Oh my God, what are these teams doing? They're just running around. It's Viljack and Kelvin on mid. There's no way to live here, right? There's no way. They can't cap. They can't live. They're going to take down Charlie. They do use the Uber. Matty going so weak as well, but they are going to be backing up. This is just, oh my God.
Two scouts on last. Soul's going to come in. No. Just one rocket shy of actually taking them down. And that was back and forth action if I've ever seen any. That was really a tug of war where people just running in different directions trying to back cap each other. And eventually it's going to be Plotted winning out. And the two scouts are just a little bit too strong. They're going to manage to cap it out. And we're going to have our third mid.
You know what I said about lad swagger? That's what we're seeing. We're 4 minutes into this game, and we're already seeing it. Winning around like that is filthy. Again, so much damage being dealt to these Ora Elektro players super early. Lance is going to be jumping again, some good rockets, but really there's just no follow-up at all. This one jump can just make everything happen. OJ just jumps in, gets his absolute perfect distraction. Now, Gatesy's going to jump in. He will get picked up, but he forces so much of the Ora Elektro team out. Now, Charlie with a follow-up. That's actually so much damage. It's so weak. Stickies are being hit, and now at this point, yeah, Clarted can just play super slow. It's just going to be Gona all by himself playing towards point. Going to try and get some magic pipes, but he's going to get cleaned up as well. Vori adding another frag onto the leaderboard. 19 points already, and it's looking good. Another good mid for Clarted.
Yeah, beyond where like they kind of got caught in the same corner like 3 times already. Like the medic was super far up against the wall, and so were a bunch of other players. So when soldiers jumped in, they would just splash the wall and do a ton of damage. And they actually got pretty lucky that Kelvin survived a bunch of times, along with his heal targets. But it just eventually a soldier came in and again did a ton of damage, and then a single sticky just finished them off. And they just never managed to get out of that corner, and it really just did not work out for them. And so now they're going to have to face a full Uber advantage once again.
Yep, same thing as before, just gonna be using straight through 4, taking some position, moving some stickies away from point. They've got so much cap time already, it looks like they can just start moving towards point, and the cap just gonna cap it again. They're playing this cap so well on these last, it just seems like there's no way Ora Elektro can contest them.
Absolutely textbook. Just putting pressure onto the point as much as possible. Like, they got the sentry gun down, they got people into spawn as much as they were able to do, maybe contain them into the bunker, put a single scout on it for a while. It's going to force everyone forward, and he jumps off, and then they could just pressure it out. Really well played, and like Clarted, they are looking beastly. Like 5-2 prediction might have been a little bit shy there for me.
Yeah, it's going to be 4th mid in nearly as many minutes, you know, this is getting super fast. We have both soldiers, actually all the soldiers just jump around the map. Decent damage once again from the Clarted players. They're just going to be picking up so many of these again. It seems so crazy, the distraction every single time. The damage is always just so good for them. It just seems to be like, I don't know, I can't even keep up with these mids. It just seems like Ora Elektro they're nowhere.
Yeah, it just feels like Clarted are doing more damage, because it kind of feels like they're doing pretty similar mids, but it's just Clarted, they do more damage as they move across middle, so they get to keep position, and then it just kind of spirals out of control, and a soldier jumps in and tries to remedy the disadvantage, and it just does not work. Unfortunately for Clarted, they didn't manage to actually get Kelvin down this time around. Charlie tried to jump in and see if he could catch him, but he was unable to do so. So he is currently waiting in one, see if he can get him some sneaky picks. okay, and spots him and just ignores him. Just, what an insult there. But yeah,
just don't care. Don't even care that you're there. I'm not even going to recognize your existence. That's the brain play right there, you know? That's how you get in the head.
Like, that is so insulting if you're Charlie.
Well, I mean, I feel like the 3-round advantage might be slightly more insulting. Gazy as well, just gonna be running straight in. KN, you know, he's got balls here, but the follow-up from OJ is gonna be jumping really deep, jumps all the way around the map, and he's still gonna get taken down though toward lobby, so not gonna matter too much at all. And in all of this, we end up losing Charlie as well on the side of Clarted, so it is going to be Clarted retreating all the way through Choke. They've got a few stickies up. Doesn't look like they're going to get their spawners in terms of contesting mid, so instead, he's going to be spawning on Sniper. We're going to have some Gazy versus Juno Sniper v Sniper right now, but a lot of players from the side of Ora Elektro actually playing towards PC for just a second, but they think better.
They thought about it, I guess, but they just didn't quite. I think they pressed tab and looked at the spawns and went, no, they're a little bit too close. Because when you go through PC like that, you pretty much have to pop through. It's so difficult to actually get the jump on people at this kind of level. So you pretty much have to pop in, and that will only work if you have a really big player advantage. Soldiers actually jumped in. That's usually the big decoy, but there isn't a second soldier to kind of ride the distraction level there. It's just a sniper, you know, walking forward. And he just walks back out again.
Walking forward, walking back, and I mean, eventually it does look like Clarted are going to start taking some position towards sewer, because it is actually basically completely open. You've got a couple stickies on the front side, but you see how open grass is, open this entire front side is. Like, you know, it is going to be pressure from the side of PC. That kind of explains a little bit what's going on.
Soldiers actually in onto the medic, gets 2 nice rockets on him, but nice surf from Cars. He's going to barely manage to get out alive there. And now it's going to be 2 players down, actually. It was like a double sack from PC coming out here from beyond Ora Elektro, and now they're going to be very vulnerable, as we can just see the entire grass area has just been completely taken over.
Yeah, it really has been. It's going to be a nice little Uber trade here. Not too bad really for either team. It's going to be pretty equal, but in all this, OJ did manage to get behind, but before he can really do any damage, he does get taken down, so that's going to be 1 less player, 1 less frag in class, and having a sniper now is going to make things really difficult for Clarted. You have Charlie and Rory trying to make the best out of a bad situation. They try and take some position desperately needed by their team, but it doesn't look like they're really hitting enough of that damage. That sniper just really not a threat at all right now, and he's just going to get taken down. But oh my lord, that's so lucky. That's a perfect spawn from OJ there, saving cars from that deep soldier. So it does look like at least Clarted will be able to stabilize here towards second. The Gloobers, it's going to be about equal players once these spawners come up.
That was really a nice example of how crucial it can be to have a scout in those prolonged fights. If a sniper's not able to just hit like crazy shots, he is not a very good DM class. And the team just got out DM'd there. Charlie's gonna be really caught out here. Somehow he hasn't died. That's really fortunate for him. I can't believe he ended up actually beating KN.
That's so tilting. I would be so mad if I was KN in that situation. Charlie deserved to die there. You know, they had the read on him, but it's not going to happen, and all that's going to happen now is there can be 2 more picks from Gazy towards PC, and suddenly, you know, you feel like Ora Elektro, you know, they have a chance, they can get a frag, they can do whatever. Suddenly they're 3 players down, they got to play back on their choke, and this is going to be a complete free mid take for clarted, with some damage to boot, just about with these spawners for beyond Ora Elektro come in, so doesn't look like there's going to be any more free space being taken by clarted right now. We do have a Unu spawning sniper now, so maybe he's going to be able to pressure a little bit, start trying to do something. It feels like in all of these stalemates, it's always kind of a clarted who have just that little bit easier time making something happen.
Definitely, but we are at a stalemate here. Charlie looks like he wants to go in. He could be a distraction. He is, as OJ now comes flying in, set the medic into the air. Woo! The rocket just go whizzing by as the medic is right there. And he will survive and live to tell the tale for another day. But it was only a single soldier dying this time around. The big problem has been that a lot of players have been dying in these sack attempts, and then all of a sudden it's 6 versus 3, and you just can't take those fights and expect to come out ahead. And instead it's going to be just a Junu edging forward here on the sniper.
Yep, just peeking towards this choke point, but you see Cars actually all the way in sewer right now, playing right by this doorway, so it's going to be so hard to get any kind of shot on him from this sniper, so a little bit difficult. We're taking down the clock just a little bit, but you know, it feels like right now clarted are just feeling fairly comfortable. They've got a big old round advantage. They're kind of, you know, it seems like they can just kind of go for some of these weird plays. We have Scout Gazy was just hiding towards PC, just, you know, sometimes you can go behind, sometimes not, you know, but this one player down doesn't really seem like it makes too much of a difference. KN's in, he's going to be jumping, but absolutely mulched, basically gets no damage, and you know, it's just how ineffective these Ora Elektro bombs are. Whereas when Charlie jumps in, instantly takes down the demo.
Yeah, Gona just got completely destroyed there. Really nice rockets there with some nice help from his friends as well. And now the sniper's being pressured super hard as well, and he's gonna go down. Again, these snipers not really working out in fights, but unfortunately there for them, Khan actually dropped his pocket there. Maybe he didn't want to pop on him, but as it is right now, it's going to be very difficult. And there's actually a pretty poor pop coming out from him. Okay, they do get the pop out pretty early here, but they have to just run. Luckily, he does have a cap in the form of a scout, but he's not going to be fast enough. He's going to go down, and now it's just going to be a scout fight here in choke, and it's definitely favoring beyond Ora Elektro. There's a soldier up top. Okay, he's just going to jump out.
I say they've got some decent position. They have the heals, but they can't really play around the heals. Looks like that one fragment class they're missing is making all the difference as they nearly wipe it. Only Wheeljack playing towards Sue, and he's got 2 people to try and deal with. He gets the demos. That's one, and
wow.
The second one. Ooh, that's some crispy little shots from Wheeljack there.
Saving grace. It's not gonna make his team be in a good position, that's for sure, but it's better than nothing. You take what you can get. But yeah, it just got completely owned there by the respawners came in. They just kind of found themselves standing in the middle of the map, and then everyone else just came in from the side. It was really well coordinated by clarted to make sure that they were just being spread out. They didn't take the same amount of damage while the enemy team did, and then the spawner was slightly faster, and the position was just a little bit too aggressive there from Kelvin, so he ended up going down. Like, even with a scout. Also, like, the Uber pop was just a little bit too timid there, I think. He just popped it too early.
Yeah, it was obviously a super difficult situation. There was scouts pressuring and soldiers pressuring. It's always going to be hard. We do have an Uber advantage on the side of clarted. Only about 20% or so. They're going to be doing the same push all the way through forward. It's a blind pop. They're walking in, and they're going to have to start playing point with this scout, but he's actually flashed a little bit too long. They do manage to pick up a soldier, but now suddenly Zuba's going to be up on Kelvin, and this should be super good as long as they can, realistically, they can take this as a farm move. That's already 2-3 frags. This medic's all the way towards lobby now, trying to escape lower, and the only
soldier on point though.
Is OJ.
Not quite. He tried to be a hero. He was hiding in bunker there. I thought he was actually going to go for the sneaky back cap, but he didn't actually have a pain train, so that made it a lot more difficult, and he just went for the medic instead, which is not a bad decision, but maybe he would have been better served with the back cap. You can't know.
I mean, I feel like his distraction was kind of almost enough to get Cars out there. Cars was getting chased pretty hard, but he managed to get out and at least maintain the Uber advantage. Nice headshot from Casey taking on KN and Lanza as well. Looks like he's going to get picked up on the peripheral part of this fight, so no soldiers up the side of beyond Ora Elektro. They can't really take height, they can't really deal spam much at this point. And with Kelvin getting bombed to absolute oblivion by Charlie, this is just all going the way. Once again, Wheeljack running through, but had to thread the needle through about 4 different players, and it ain't going to happen. 2 players alive on the side of Ora Elektro now.
Gona is kind of being caught in a little bit too deep. I've noticed this now a couple of times, and Gona, he's just a little bit too aggressive sometimes, and then you just see the rest of the team retreat, and then Gona's just kind of left in there alone. And Whether or not that's his fault or it's just the team that backs out too early and they don't tell him or something, I'm not quite sure. But there's definitely a bit of a communication issue right now where he's just in too deep compared to the rest of the team, and then he just cannot get out and everything just snowballs out of control. So as a result, there's going to be another Uber advantage for him to deal with.
It is, yeah, exact same again. Moving through 4, taking some decent position. Those stickies from Matty ATN are absolutely brutal. And he's hitting pipes towards point. There's absolutely nothing beyond there Elektro can do. That's going to be a 4th round. Oh, what a sick last from Matty ATN.
Yeah, getting the demo man in that kind of push is so crucial, because a lot of the Uber it's that one more step that you can just skip, right? Which is clear the point of stickies. That's something you have to do. When, you have to get in, destroy the send gun, get space, lock them out, clear the point of stickies, get time on the point, and then fight them. But when there's no sticking on the point, you can just skip that step entirely, and it's so good. And yeah, no way that push was failing.
So you know where to. So another mid, another double soldier bomb from the side of Beyond Ora Elektro. They're jumping in, this time getting slightly more for their effort, a little bit more damage, a couple frags at least, but it does get traded by these little pipes from Matty AZN. So many of these counter players playing together, but they just pick up their soldiers so quickly. And the rest of Ora Elektro just aren't really in a position to try and follow up with these soldiers. It's now, once again, it's going to be Gunnar and Kelvin. Kelvin's going to get taken down. Once more, Pipe just shooting him into that floor dimension. And it's just going to be Gunnar. And, you know, you can see right now, Clarted, they don't care. They don't care if you have a demo up. They're just going to play nice and chill around the medic. You know, they can play super slow here, check every sticky trap, check everything, and check every sticky trap. Jesus. They're trying to give me a heart attack here.
Maybe hit push to talk there when you actually spot a stick trap. Jesus, you just walked through and nobody seemed to know. But yeah, that was just a super nice blob up there on that mid. But now they're in with an Uber, take down Demo Man again, put time on the point here with the scout. That's going to force everyone to just come onto it. Actually, a really good job so far. A ton of damage has been done to them, but now a second scout is on the point, and oh no, the second scout just getting stuck on the railing, can't get onto the block, and that's going to be 5-0 in favor of Clarted. Just living up to their #1 seed, that's for sure. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, that kind of felt, you know, from mids kind of through to seconds and last, it was just everything always went the way of Clarted. There was almost kind of no looking or Elektro got there. And, you know, granted, it was a Clarted map pick, but like, that's got to be such a difficult thing to kind of get out of your head going into this second map, Logjam. You know, it is Ora Elektro's pick. It is going to be a map which they, you know, should logically be more confident with, but no one feels good after losing 5-0 in 12 minutes.
Pretty shocking indeed. It was their map pick, so maybe they are just the greatest team on this map.
maybe. Always possible. I do apologize. I said 12 minutes. It was actually about 17 minutes. I was confusing my numbers around, but even still, like a 5-0 never feels good. And I guess we can look at some logs a second. As always, there's only so much you can gather really from a 5-0. I felt like it was more. A lot of these situations came down to timing on these mids rather than, you know, massive damage output, but like you were saying, Peter, like it just seemed to be that the efficiency of these bombs, the efficiency of the damage output of Clarted was always much better. And I mean, you could see Charlie 17 for 10, 320 DPM, next highest in terms of damage. Matty AZN, next highest by damage is Gazy. Like everything went the way of Clarted, and all these bottom guys are just, you know, it just feels like, yeah. The efficiency when it comes to the bombs, the actual kind of, you know, physical damage output, it just seemed to be everything just went the way of Clarted.
They were really good at blobbing up. Like, especially on some of those mid fights, you can really see that they were just all playing together. They were like, have 4 or 5 players playing in the same area, and they were really good at just focusing down whichever players came in and just aggressed on them. They just took them down so efficiently. And that just was the big difference in those fights. And
yeah, it really feels like if you get yourself in this kind of you know, those situations where you, so we saw at one point, you know, cars went down, they were effectively 5v5, but Ora Elektro had their medic. If you can play those situations and just focus those 1-by-1 frags, you know, really, like, it's not only kind of dealing the damage, but calling the focus fire, making sure people are, you know, actually shooting the same guy. Like, you can see how that situation literally just went from focusing one after another. That was basically a full wipe for Clarted, even without heals, with just, you know, that read of the game. We have to play faster. We have to focus targets if we're going to stay in here. And they just they just played it perfectly, exactly what they needed there. And that seems to be really the real difference. Clarted just have a better idea of what they need to do in each situation, and they just react to it fast.
Yep, we got a new connect here. They were complaining about the servers a little bit, so maybe now servers will be fine and nobody will complain about servers fat chance. But I think they just want to get out of this server, get out of everything, just clear their mind, move on to the next map. That's for sure. I just want to also point out that Kaz, he died twice, and Kelvin died 7 times. So that's obviously a big difference, and it just kind of usually follows a 5-0 that one medic will just be radically different than the other. And he also has a 1 KD as medic. That's
it's
fun.
Solid. It's solid. Not going to argue with those kind of stats here. I think most medics would be pretty happy with a 1 KD.
Yeah, I'll take it. That's for sure. Also, it's funny, his name is Deceased. He never died. So that's good.
That is true. I like that. I appreciate it. Shout out to Cars. Shout out to Cars. Like I said, right, we're going to be changing maps here, changing servers, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to give Beyond Ora Elektro the benefit of the doubt and just hope they were all lagging horrendously or something felt really jittery. Which in fairness, I mean, considering they do have 2 Finnish players, Finnish players historically have had the weirdest routing problems in the world. And, like, no joke, that can have a serious impact on your game, and then it gets you frustrated, puts you in the wrong mindset, and can just completely mess things up. So there's a fair chance that we might see something significantly different in terms of some of these players on this map. And obviously, like we discussed before the first map, this is going to be their pick. It's going to be a map they feel much more confident on, and I feel like, bare minimum, they're going to be way, way more competitive. We'll see a lot more closer rounds than on Process. I feel like there's going to be Clarty won't have that same ability to just kind of snowball, because there's going to be a bit more kind of, a bit more confident play, let's say, from Ora Elektro.
Yeah, I will say on mid, it's a mid where you have a lot of vision, so that would seem to actually play into the strengths right now of Clarted, at least the way the process mids went. So that is something to take into consideration, but a lot of the other points of the map are quite different, so I wouldn't completely just carry that on into everything else. But there's actually some really interesting points, like especially the second to middle choke is pretty interesting, actually. Yeah, like the more I played it, the more fun it actually becomes. And it just like there's that bridge that overlooks the former cave area. That can actually be very easily bombed and bombarded from choke, and you don't really think about it because you don't directly look at it, but like you can just sandwich people up on that bridge and just completely destroy them. So that is something to look out for, and teams that have figured that out tend to do really well on Logjam, because you can just punish people so hard.
You really can, and just it kind of like between that bridge and behind and kind of between the bridge and the choke, you've got so much verticality you can play in choke, which is very different. Like it's fairly wide on the scale of choke points, and there's a lot of verticality. So there's so much you can do in terms of big high bombs, which granted, yeah, you're super visible, you can get like denied pretty easily, but there's also, because there's a lot of height to play with, you can do super good distractions. You have these fairly deep kind of left and right side flank angles, which teams won't always play super close. They'll tend to play them further back just because of how far apart they are. So I feel like, this kind of mid to second it could be super, super interesting, and it could be where we see some of the most kind of imaginative stuff. I also want to say, throughout playing this season, I'm pretty sure 90% of the air shots I hit were on Logjam mid to second choke point, because somehow, I don't know, dudes just jump through there, people will get air shot. We will see at least one fat air shot on that choke. I guarantee you this game.
It's a very tall choke, and you see like you can like put stickies super high up and stuff, so people like jump through it, and then they get launched even higher by those super high up stickies, and then you hit the crazy shots. It's a pretty fun choke to jump through. It's a kind of a drag to push through, like if you just walk in there, but yeah, there's some real stuff happening in there. I like any map where you just fly around in the skybox. That's just good fun.
I think we did see all the way back in season 20, I believe it was Uber Sexuals, one of their games, they spawn camp, they sent a guy literally into the skybox, and you saw how high the skybox is on second. It is actually like to Jupiter. It is ridiculous. That's one of my favorite clips, I think, in TF2 in the past few years. Either way, we're going to be going into this second map now. All the teams are ready up, ready to go. Going to be this map 2. This is on Logjam, Clarted versus Beyond Ora Elektro. And we did see a little bit of a... It was actually Beyond Ora Elektro just kind of faking out Sniper there. So if anyone was checking on Spy, they would have maybe got a little bit confused on the side of Clarted. Obviously, Sniper on this mid can be super good, but no one should be running it just yet. Tell me what you're seeing on this mid here, Beta.
Yeah, so it's just going to be both scouts holding their own house pretty simply. We see both Charlie and OJ trying to jump in, but they get completely denied immediately, so not really getting any headway. It's actually going to be Kelvin that gets the first kill on the middle. That's kind of unusual. Gas is actually trying to run in from behind, and he has gotten a single kill, but it looks like eventually just the first team to go aggressive will actually be the one that loses. And it's just going to be, oh no, Charlie actually dies. There's going to be a single medic being chased down by a scout. Yeah, he's not making it out. He's just going to eventually actually kill himself there. But that was a really strong mid coming out here from Beyond Ora Elektro.
It really was. I mean, KN jumped in. He actually landed on a guy's head, got 2 rockets on 2 players. He did about 400 damage with those 2 rockets, and I feel like after that point, that's kind of like over. Like, you can't basically kill 2 players single-handedly and really hope that, and have the other team really stand a chance. But it's going to be top left where we're going to move through with this Uber, getting used nice and early. Still only a level 2 gun, so Gun is just going to walk all the way behind point, and you can see how easily he can start locking these players towards the spawn. But he's actually going to be sticking towards the point, so the rest of the team's just going to be walking straight out here. Reflected Rockets can take down KN, but the rest of Clarted have absolutely no idea. They're just walking away from point, and that's going to be Gona capping it nice and easy there.
Yeah, immediately bringing it back on their map pick. Definitely showing why they picked it. Also, I would argue that they should have capped that point way earlier. Like, there were stickies on it, like their own stickies, and they could have just sent a single scout onto it, and they would have definitely capped immediately. It's just going to be like a demo man just eventually waddled onto it and capped it out, but they could have done that way earlier, so they didn't even play that right, in my opinion, and they still won it, so that's a good sign for them.
There you go, see, don't even have to play correctly and they still win, so looking good now. 1 round up, going into the second mid now. Same kind of situation where both teams playing quite passive. OJ tried to get a little bit aggressive, but once again, it does look like Clarted's taking the brunt of the damage here. Gona, though, he has gone super weak. The OJ bomb is going to clean him up, though, so that's going to make things a little bit easier. You see how far away Kelvin is from the rest of his team. He's actually so far back. He can't really get the heals on some of these front players, so that's going to take him down nice and easy. Running away is going to be the aim of their game, and Lance is actually going to be deep behind the entirety of Clarted, so his medic and scout are going to have to be moving straight up to last, but Lanza maybe has an opportunity to try and do something. I'm not quite sure what his plan is. He's just, he's the lone assassin right now.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to hide back there. He's really not doing... Oh my god, they're sending so many players back. Okay, Charlie has found him. He's also chasing him. I think that's the only thing really going on. So Lancer is just way back at the second forward spawn. And,
oh my god. I believe Clarted, they are on alert phase. They've spotted him. Where are those footsteps coming from? We found him literally, okay, they will eventually pick him up. And in all of that, at no point did Ora Elektro think, okay, there's 2/3 guys out, you know, we can try and do something else. They're just like, alright, Lanza, mate, sorry, you're dead. That's just how it is.
He's going to spawn before they can actually get to their last. Like, he's going to make it there. That was like, he got there faster. That's pretty funny. That was how far back he actually drew them. That's not funny. Oh, man.
I mean, you know, it is what it is. Life of a soldier. We do have a heavy and a sentry going up on the side of Ora Elektro, so they're pretty happy just to sit here for a little while. You know, they're okay right now. Playing this heavy towards the right side. I quite like that little angle, actually. I mean, it doesn't deny OJ from taking down the sentry, but it doesn't mean this heavy is pretty safe and can control right side fairly heavily. Yep, he's going to be taking out OJ. OJ has absolutely no idea. And a pipe from Gona taking down Charlie as well, so... Those soldiers up for Clarted. Does look like if there's an opportunity, it's going to be fairly quickly now before these stickies come up on Matty Izien.
They're going to see if they can find any kind of opening here. We do see KN, he's looking to come up through the drop down. He has been spotted, and he's probably pretty afraid of a sticky trap. You can see he's not really moving out there. The demo man is watching the window, but he doesn't actually have stickies on it, but, you know, he doesn't know. And actually, Uber's going to get forced out right now, and there's going to be a much better Uber coming out here from Clarted, and oh my god, Demo Man has gone down as well. Medics, he's way caught in. Soldier's still up on Spire, but okay, he's actually getting rushed down by a Spy of all things.
I have absolutely no idea what's going on with the Spy, but actually KN actually did really good there. He got a couple really important frags and perhaps kind of almost kind of saved things a little bit there. We still have a gun up towards last. Charlie playing towards his right hand side. Somehow, I think he's actually invisible. Actually, no one has any idea. Right, Junior's going to pick him up and get a second one. It's turning so scrappy right now. It really could kind of go either way, but ultimately, Wheeljack's still going to be on sentry, so this push-out doesn't look like Kelvin and the rest of his merry gang of gamers have any interest at all. They're just going to chill on last, get this Uber, continue playing this equal for a while, and try and deal with this spy.
Yeah, you don't want to push out when you know there's a spy, right? Like, that's just asking to be backcapped. And you even have a sentry gun in there, which is just going to, like, sap. So, yeah, I like the decision to just stay back here, but, you know, I wonder what OJ is going to do, because normally when you've been called, like, on spy like this, you have to go for some sort of low priority target. And it's very difficult to actually find anyone to just backstab here on this, because everyone's playing so together. It's a pretty squished together last, kind of like Golly was, right? Like on Badlands or like Granary or something, you can usually just find an isolated target. And there we go. Actually going to be Juno walking forward as a sniper. He will actually get him. So, yeah, OJ contributing. Good job. He's going to run back to spawn though, looks like.
I'm going to shout out right now the confidence right now. From Beyond Ora Elektro, right now Gona is fully focused on taking this teleporter as many times as possible to get 3 points for Wheeljack. Genuinely, that is the confidence we're playing with, and I like it. This is swagger. I like seeing teams play with swagger. I feel like this is going to be this is the start of the Ora Elektro domination, you know? They're feeling it.
They are feeling it. And OJ, he's just playing as if he hasn't already completely tipped his hand. Like, maybe they don't know there's a spy. Maybe he's not spy anymore, you know? Like, I'm actually surprised at how little he's being spy checked.
Yeah.
Like, he's way in there. He's behind the sniper and everything, and he's kind of isolated. I was kind of talking about how you can't do it, but...
he's been spotted. There you go. Just like that, Lanzig hits a random spam rocket and a taunt as well. There we go. Goodbye, OJ. Right, no spy on the field. So, we still have this aggressive sniper on the side of Judo. He's going to be peeking towards his right-hand side. He has a lot of space, to be honest. He can start moving towards lobby. It's only really Vori anywhere close whatsoever, so... I mean, there's opportunities to peek forward, but it just seems like they're just happy to chill here on last. Are we going to see the classic 5 minutes, wait it out, and then play mid again? You never know. Might be possible.
Might be. There's actually a really nice sniper sightline. You can see Juno who's kind of getting into it. If he just keeps walking to his own right, he gets like a really long sightline all the way into second. And a lot of people keep standing there all the time. I guess people will stop doing that once they realize the sightline's there, but it's a really nice defensive sightline, but you need to make sure that you don't get spammed out. And Charlie has actually been caught. And wow!
That is fat. I mean, that is going to be 2 really good frags there for Beyond Ora Elektro, but I think OJ is channeling the inner sideshow right now. They won't expect Spy 2 times in a row, 3 times in a row, 4 times in a row. Let's see how long we can keep this on going, but we have so many players from Beyond Ora Elektro just pushing all the way out here. They're going to be moving all the way towards second, going to start capping things. We still have a gun actually on last, so I think OJ is going to be doing a great deal at all. He's actually just got to move to lobby, but in all of this, you know, I mean, Clarted, they've lost control of second, yeah, but with OJ all the way behind, that threat of the spy is constantly there. He's constantly feeding info to his team, so it makes the hold that little bit easier for Clarted from an information point of view, and I feel like they're going to start going for some kind of distraction play for him, you know, allow him to get a bit more of a chance here.
Yep, it's going to be a Soda jumping in, but he kind of whiffed his own jump immediately as OJ, he tries to make his best of it, but he is onto him. Just takes him down immediately. A bit unfortunate that Charlie, I think he missed a jump on one of the pillars, or maybe he rocket jumped or something. But yeah, I'm not going to succeed second time either. But he's come down. Now it's going to be 2 players down. Maybe, I don't quite understand why he jumped in there when you're already a person down. That seems super risky.
I mean, you know, kind of get into the head a little bit, you know, if they're not expecting it, maybe they'll just, you know, get some free frags, but not going to happen. It is actually going to be an Uber first used by Ora Elektro, so with all this flashing though, that's kind of been fairly equal frags as well in terms of this Uber, but the position, Clarted are going to be pretty scared right now. They've got 2 weak players on the side of this fight, and as much as OJ is going to be trading now, it's not really going to be enough for them. It's going to be Vori and Kars trying to leave all the way through choke, but Charlie on the flank, he does manage to pick up one, so it makes things a little bit easier for his combo getting out, and I feel like maybe they could possibly want to recontest it. It looks like Vori wants to at least try and take some position, but
Charlie's no longer in the fight. Okay, he was like wrapping around, so he's now going to jump in. They look really keen to take this fight, and it's super dangerous because they have the slow response because the cap did get capped pretty early on, so it would be a very dangerous proposition, and eventually they are going to back off there. And it was kind of weird looking at the scout and the medic running in there while the Sorter was just wrapping around, and going into the other way, because he kind of came in with the flank, and that was pretty nice. It was kind of like a dead zone they kind of created in front of a rock, where if they went in there, they would be shot from two sides. But no, once he rotated around, the kill zone was dead. And we're going to have another stalemate, and it's going to be a sniper coming out here from Juno. Once again, he's had moderate success at it so far. No huge picks or anything, but you know, he has been contributing. And it's just going to be... Yeah.
I say just kind of more body shots here and there, but with the headshot on Charlie, so I feel like he wants to prove me wrong. The second I say that, you know, he's listening somehow. He knows, he wants to prove to everyone that I have no idea what I'm talking about, so he's going to start moving. I mean, there's actually a lot of space nearly everywhere. It's going to be through this kind of a log room right now, getting these nice crispy little angles, which teams might not be fully aware of, but OJ's jump on choke is going to be forcing Kelvin really easy here. These two frags are going to be super important going forward, though, because this Uber much from cars, but it's so hard.
That was such a weird pop coming up from cars. He just popped for seemingly no reason, and now he's going to try to surf out, but he's going to get taken down. So that seemed way over eager of an Uber. I don't know, I guess he just assumed they were right around the corner, and there was like stickies maybe, I don't know. That was a very weird pop. And the Junior's going to get another kill there. That was a body shot, so you totally know what you're talking about.
Exactly. Oh my god. Right, Charlie's in. He's jumping super deep. He gets that one rocket, and it's all he needs on Kelvin. I mean, yeah, Ora Elektro had no idea. I mean, yeah, okay. Pretty filthy stuff there from Charlie, but picking up that med again, that nice little crispy Uber advantage, and honestly, they can even start moving with Hill's advantage if they want to. Charlie's going to be up in one, but it does look like clarted are going to chill a little bit. They've got their gun. Yeah, I guess they're just going to wait for Uber, you know? I feel like, you know, clarted from last map, they would have just pushed out with their heals, but I feel like they're feeling the pressure a little bit more now.
Indeed. That's actually a pretty good example of little mistakes compounding into big impacts, because the only reason why Charlie was able to just kill Medic there was because he was able to one-shot him. And the reason he was able to one-shot him was because OJ just did some random spam, and he actually caught Kelvin with it. And so he actually just died to that one shot. So yeah, small mistakes can lead to big results right there. It's going to be an Uber out here. Matty AC gets an air shot and saved.
That is such a sick flash from cars, but really nice air shots coming out from beyond Ora Elektro. They only lost one player and all of that, and that was their sniper, so it doesn't even really matter too much in terms of this repush. Full Uber's going to be up, and their damage is already so good. Charlie's going to get taken down first. OJ desperately tries to jump out right-hand side. He will just about get through this window, so that's going to... Actually, it could have been so much worse from clarted. The way they scattered was super important then. They played that really well, so... You know, it's looking pretty good in terms of that escape from clarted, but Kelvin didn't actually use his Uber, so still about 30% advantage. So you've got to move fairly quickly towards this right-hand side. They're going to be using nice and early, keeping their players alive, keeping everyone nice and healthy. This gun's going to be going down about 85% on the side of cars. They've got to start trying to go for some frags or go for some kind of point play, try and do something, but right now they're just getting absolutely... Oh, this reflective Gazy is disgusting. They're just getting obliterated.
Cars, he's actually so weak. He's actually going to be forced out here by Juno. So Juno somehow takes forever there to go in, but yeah, I think they went a little bit of the wrong approach there. I think they should have just gone for the point, because they had the Uber advantage, and instead of trying to actually get to the medic, because Kaz kind of stayed just really safe in the corner, he was being protected really well by his team there. If they would have just forced everyone to come down onto the point and run into them, maybe they could have done a lot better. Actually, oh my god, Charlie's going to see if he can make a flank in there, but he just gets taken down immediately, and Matt's going to go down as well.
Yeah, this is not looking good for clarted at all. I feel like they wanted to try and do a big boy bust, but it wasn't happening at all. They took so much damage. Once again, Mathieu didn't quite get the memo. He feeds his own life as well, and I mean, this is a little bit advantage for the side of cars, but actually the spawners are just about going to carpet. It's almost a little bit unfortunate there for beyond Ora Elektro. Those spawners were really generously timed, so they can have this little bit of Uber disadvantage, but they're still playing towards lobby, because I feel like, you know, that 20%, I don't think clarted's really going to push off that. It's kind of, you know, I feel like it's a reasonable read here, but once again, it's going to be seeing if they can get something happening with Junior here.
Yeah, they were kind of being sneaked down there to, I don't know, you can call it drop down or secret or the lower entrance, whatever you want to call it. Like, Kaz was down there, so I think they were hoping that maybe they could catch the medic out being a little bit too close, but they didn't quite get the drop on them there. I like these little plays where you kind of set yourself up for some sort of play if they are forward, and then when you see that they're not forward, you can just pull back and you didn't lose anything from it.
These upwards rockets from Charlie are filthy. He actually takes down Bojack. I think that was just a double direct. He just gets deleted out of the server. So no scout up now for Beyond Ora Elektro. Outside's where they're going to be. And this sniper hit one nice little headshot there, but it's not going to turn into a frag. And this is Clarted's opportunity to try and make something happen. Still, though, they are still playing with a round disadvantage. Only about 15 minutes to go. Charlie takes a bit of position, but you see how far away Kelvin is. There's basically no way Charlie can jump in there and get any kind of free bomb. It's just super, super difficult. And he's even going to get taken down on the side, along with this headshot on Matty Azien. Oh my god, even Boy's getting picked up. What's happening?
Absolute disaster. It's just when you peek out like that and you have an NG and on last and they have a sniper, it's just... They didn't commit hard enough. Now there's going to be time on the point. Felix actually takes a lot of damage, but they're sort of not quite able to get him in there. Pyro's going to get taken down. Yeah, this is game over, man. That's going to be 2-0, so what a comeback we've seen. Like, after losing 5-0 in the first map, now they're just all poised to take the second map. There's only 14 minutes remaining, and they are looking strong.
Yeah, I mean, I got caught out a little bit for being optimistic between maps, but, you know, your boys Beyond Ora Elektro there, it seems like a completely different kind of matchup right now. It seems like Clarted can't get that kind of, you know, those comfortable positions where they can just take and win fights at all. It's just... yeah, super, super hard for them. So going into this third mid now, they really have to start looking to do something a little bit more kind of, not necessarily proactive, but just make something work a little bit better. So looks like they're going to be slightly more aggressive in terms of taking position, but they're going to move certain people back to try and get on the KN here. They will be taking him down along with Lanzo, but they are taking so much damage towards this choke point. Does look like the frags, though, will just about win this mid for them. But 3 players still on the side of Ora Elektro. They will be trying to leave here. They can't really contest this 3 versus 5, and I feel like Kelvin might just about get out. It's a little bit scary with these soldiers jumping in. Gona will be dying, and it's still about 84% on the side of Kelvin, and they're still getting chased. Oh my god, Billjack dies there as well. This is super, super rough, and I think ultimately these spawners are going to come in. This aggressive Uber from Cars, though. Kelvin's going to be getting it, though. There's no cap time.
Wow,
no cap
nice
second just yet.
Milk there from Kelvin. Like, a normal medic would have just popped there and just taken the exchange and then chased them out, but no, he actually just held on to it. So that's a really nice play coming out of from Kelvin, but yeah, one of the soda bombs barely didn't really work, and Kelvin again just milks it. He's so brave.
He's a machine. You can't force him. He won't do it. He'd rather drop than force to you. He doesn't care. I like that. I respect that mentality.
Yeah, just unbind mouse 2. Not needed. I just need the intimidation factor. Alright, as I say that, he has actually pressed it, and Demoman's going to jump in super aggressive. They're going to really far ahead of his team. Actually just going to get juggled all the way back here, but the back line is just so infested with soldiers that they just get completely separated and torn apart. Now the Sentinel gun going to get taken down, and there's just going to be a single scout coming in here. Can they make it in there?
He gets airshot, Billjack gets obliterated, get out the server, right, Clarted to take it around back with a little bit of swagger there as well.
Yes, just styling on them at the very end. Really nice job there by OJ to actually get into the back lines, because that just really stretched everyone thin. And then once again, Gona jumped in very aggressively. He kind of got too far ahead of his own team, and then he actually made a really nice escape, just riding the scatter guns all the way over Spire. But yeah, as it was, they were just too separated, and the recap came in there.
Yeah, definitely a little bit more similar to what we were seeing at last map on Process. So this mid though, OJ's going to be jumping super deep, tries to get some rockets, but no real damage at all. Matty Azien also getting picked up from KN here, so the damage output for Clarted is basically nothing at this point. They're going to be really lucky to get out at all. So much spam being dealt towards this choke point. Really nervous right now for Cars. He has got a scout, so he can be moving away pretty quickly, but I mean, Charlie's getting picked up, and you know, I feel like the chase isn't quite on. He's been feeling okay, so they can at least probably stabilize in terms of last, but another mid where it just didn't seem like they really had an angle in.
Yeah, they just had no traction at all early on in that middle, and then once it just goes a little bit wrong, it can just really snowball out of control, because it's very difficult to get a drop on anyone on this middle. It's a very difficult proposition for soldiers to actually get in there and get it. Like normally the way soldiers just exchange or just initiate on these middles is that they come in from some sort of blind angle. It's actually going to be a soldier jumping in very aggressively here. I don't think there's any way out for Charlie here, but the demo man is in as well, but he gets taken down.
That's
and the Uber.
Such a bad Uber from Cars. He desperately tried to save Matty Azien, who just ran in hoping to get the trade of his life, but he didn't even get used on, so he's dying there. They've got no demo life for another 4 seconds, no Uber whatsoever. It's going to be Kelvin leading through with the rest of his team on his left-hand side, using nice and early, playing so many heals forward, and I mean, Kayan does get taken down the side of the fight, but it's not even really the matter. That's going to stand on the point.
Yeah, sacking 2 players for an Uber force, like sometimes that's worth it, but if it's your own medic that you're forcing, definitely not worth it.
That's not great. I will be honest with you. I would say that may have been a bit of a misplay, but I mean, it's costly, you know, one kind of mistake like that, you know, one kind of use just a little bit too late and, you know, you've lost a round. Suddenly you're back at a 2-round disadvantage.
And if they keep doing those mistakes, they're going to have to be forced into a situation where they have to take those chances again and keep making more of them. So, yeah, this is a dangerous situation for sure here.
It really is. There was some nice early damage towards Gunner, but he's going to be picking up a crispy little arrow there, so makes things a little bit easier. Ode once again going to be jumping deeper, but this time he's going to be staying alive a little bit more. Not going straight for damage, going to go for some position instead. The rest of Ora Elektro is just trying to look forward, but OJ gets a jump on things. Takes down Kelvin, so it is going to be Kaz, most important player in the server right now, as he has to stay alive, play with the rest of his team. The scout's going to run straight forward. They focus one.
Oh,
what an air shot on
pipe.
Gunner. That's so good. KN jumps in, gets the air shot on Kazo. That's super, super good. And even with Junu dying here, that was everything they needed from the mid from then on.
What an air show we've got ourselves here. That was just everyone going huge. It's kind of weird. Like, just the reason why Kelvin died was just because Ode was in choke, and he was just being dealt with, and then they just kind of assumed that he was being, like, he was done for, but then he just jumped back in, and people just kind of weren't looking at him anymore, and so he just killed the medic with 2 rockets. So, good play by OJ, but also a bit of a lapse of concentration lost there. Coming out from beyond Ora Elektro, and that will allow them to actually get an Uber advantage because their medic died so much earlier here, but I don't know if they're going to be in a position to use it properly, but we actually do see some very aggressive play coming out here.
Oh lord, we busting through the choke point, back here again, getting taken down once again. Charlie's the next frag, and so's Kaz as well, so busting is not making them feel good at all. They're getting absolutely just crushed into the corner, and I mean, they might even still lose more. Yeah, Casey's going to try and take a fight on the very kind of edge of the flank. OJ is going all the way towards choke. We have 1 player remaining in the fight. Bori's getting cleaned up. That's just one after another. Everyone's just feeding in, giving. I mean, it's just giving everyone on Ora Elektro just such an easy time right now. They got this full Uber advantage. They're going to be walking straight through the second, and only really going to be Charlie able to contest them in this 4-spawn sniper.
Yeah, this must be the time pressure, right? Like, otherwise, why would they make a play like that? It just, yeah, I think that's what's going on here. And you know, I think they're just feeling the heat. It's 7.5 minutes remaining. They're down 2 points, which is not insurmountable by any measure. But I think they're just kind of getting a little bit desperate here as this Uber push comes in. And see if they can catch out the medic. They actually catch out the medic immediately.
Oh lord, these frags are filthy from the Ora Elektro scouts. They're getting every single one that they need. There's nothing Matty AZN can do. That's going to be a 4th round for them on the board, and now 7 minutes to go, 3-round deficit for Clarted. They've really got to start putting 2 and 2 together and making something happen, because this is just completely just coming away from them.
Yeah, it all starts with the mid fights. You can definitely ride in. Like, we've seen some really quick rounds where you just take the middle, get Spire for free, and then just push in onto last. And those pushes have been pretty good because they're really good at actually just playing the point and putting everyone into spawn, and then just making a kill zone from the 2 sides of the point. But let's see what these 2 soldiers do there.
Oh my lord, we're going deep on right side for Clarted, and they're getting actually a lot of frags here. Lanza jumps in, gets some decent damage. Kaz does just like get taken down by Junu there, and actually it's going to turn into another little 1v1 here on the flank. Junu's getting so weak, does actually pick up Gacy, and he might even very nearly picked up Vori, but he'll get the better end of things. Gona, not really much he can do on the side here. I feel like he's given up. He's going to kill by it there. He doesn't care. He's not getting your frag video. You're not getting another one. And I feel like, yeah, I mean, it was a nice idea in the mid. It was aggression going all the way towards this right-hand side, and even still, aggression seems to be the aim of the game. Charlie's basically towards last, but he's going so weak. Like you said, this is just kind of time desperation coming out here. They feel like they've got to move forward. Everyone's got to do so much, but it's not really how the team game works.
Yeah, I actually really like the strategy on that middle. Like, Kaz was all the way in the enemy choke almost. Like, he was in so deep. He was just pumping out so many heals, and the aggression was just very difficult for Elektro Beyond to deal with. So I actually really liked that play, and they did win the middle, but yeah, then Charlie goes for the hero play, and now it's going to be very difficult to come in here. It is even Uber, so maybe they're going to go for a dot push. That's a very normal strat to do when you come in here, and actually they're going to put pressure on the cave area, and they have just blown everyone off this bridge. But now they have a lot of headway to go in, and it's a very even fight so far. And Kaz is in deep, and he's actually going to pop here. And look at how weak Kelvin is as well. He's
oh my lord, that soldier's in the actual skybox. Do they hit? They don't. Absolute disaster. No one hitting the air shot, but they get the frag in the end, so it's not too bad, you know, but the fragment isn't going to happen. But the refrags are on. What? How does Viljack get 2 down? Gunner's pipes as well. It's just Matty towards the point, and he's going to get cleaned up. Surely he doesn't hit it. Surely he doesn't. Nope. He won't. He's going to get taken down. I thought for sure that was going to be clarted, but I guess the damage dealt by Beyond Ora Elektro is just too good. But now OJ and Gacy, they're playing towards this fight. They're going to look to start moving towards point again. Time pressure. They know they have to do something fast. Playing towards this point. They got one soldier to deal with. Already got one. Just lands it now. Playing towards this point. But mid's been capped before they can even get on the second point. So it's hard.
Yeah, 2 players stuck behind right now. Well, maybe they're not as much stuck as they're in a prime position. Actually, Gona's going to be kind of caught out there. And Soda has made it all the way in there. So OJ actually makes it back to his team. He actually somehow wrapped around everyone and got a bunch of damage and then just joined up with them. So it's 4 minutes remaining for 3 rounds. That's probably not possible anymore. But you know, they can definitely still get a bunch of rounds here and just get their confidence back going into this last map for sure. Lancer having some nice rocket there on the gas and take him out. Uber's actually been forced here as well by OJ, so that's a nice force. As long as Cars gets out alive, this is a good situation for sure.
And he's not at all, so he gets taken down right at the end of the fight. Mathieu's in as well, just a Vori spawner.
Oh, nice airshot from Vori as well. And he's going to taunt. That's the spirit. There you go.
That's all you need, you know. Vori's first Life 1 soldier already hitting an airshot. He has a 100% airshot success rate. That is why Vori is one of the best soldiers in TF2 right now, you know.
Statistically speaking, you are correct, yeah. That's how statistics work.
I love statistics. Shout out to statistics. So yeah, this is 3 rounds. It's 3 minutes at this point. Basically, Clarted have effectively called GG. So they're just going to be running around doing whatever, and they're just going to, I guess, start thinking about things on Sunshine, our final map of the series.
Alright, here's a fun fact. Gas, not the best pyro in the world. He just failed all the reflex and died to a soldier shooting at him at mid-range.
That's just unfortunate, you know?
Yeah.
You win some, you lose some, and it looks like right now, Beyond Ora Elektro are winning some. Winning many, actually. They're going to walk through a choke point. They're just going to get some more lots for the... some more rounds for the Logs. Here's once again. He is going to be the pyro main, apparently. He's the pyro main he always wanted to be. This is his game. At least there's going to be some sympathy frags. Oh my god.
Oh, they actually got... Wait, whoa. What? How did they win that? That's... Okay, so someone just spawned on Sniper in a high-pressure situation and then just drops the medic immediately. Because, I don't know, that's how TF2 works sometimes. Unfortunately, Charlie will get picked off there by a hiding scout. He was just like crouching in a corner like he was in a CS match. And it worked out for him. But now we're going to have...
I think right now, Vori's genuinely got about 600 DPM on Soldier. Like, genuinely, he's actually obliterating, and he's on shotgun as well. Guys, next map, yeah? Next map, yeah? Like, I think I can put 2 and 2 together, right? I'm seeing what's going on.
I really love that fight in choke. There was just literally 2 teams running, just crashing into each other in choke. And there, unfortunately for one team, there was actually a green ball. But yeah, good time. People are just running into each other. This is a bit of dead time right now. This is probably the worst part about the rule set in TF2, where it's kind of over. But yeah, they haven't reached any kind of play limit at all, so they just keep going. They're just gonna run into this heavy and get chewed up completely. No fear. Maybe they should have had a little bit, maybe just an ounce of respect, but no. At least, oh, Gas has actually done something on Pyro. This is momentous. This is a great occasion. This is cause for celebration, I think.
See, I feel like right now, you know, people call this dead time, but BT, you don't understand, right? This is that time in TF2 where it's magical times where people they come up with like the most interesting tactics, you know? Like, you wouldn't expect to usually play like, you know, a heavy and a pyro on Logjam second, and well, you know, we found out now that the heavy wins. Okay, we know that now. We can put that into our little book of, you know, notes for TF2. It's working out. Same is true for if you have non-Uber players walking into Uber players. We know that now, you know. This is experimentation. It's important.
Yeah, Maddie, just confirming the results. Like, you have to be able to reproduce results in proper science, and that's what he just did. So that's a good play from him, that's for sure. Just run into that Uber. Good job.
I love science, Peter. Yeah. I love science. I just love science. I love it. Right, we've got about 10 seconds left on the clock. Any last minute air shots, anything else coming out here? We do have your boy Shadowin back in the server. We see it. Was that even a conch? That was a black box. I'm not even sure it was a card. It is. Oh, yeah. See, there we go. Shadowman's in there. The KN, final frag of the game. None of it matters, though, because that's going to be 4-1, looking absolutely stellar for Beyond Ora Elektro. And, importantly, we're going third map. We are going to Sunshine, and this is another clarted pick. So far, just to remind everyone, that was a 5-0 in 17 minutes on process for clarted. We're now looking at a 4-1, much more commanding on the side of Beyond Ora Elektro. But now, straight back to a clarted pick. And honestly, considering, you know, people talk about the similarities between Sunshine and process, like, I feel like even with the confidence bolstered from this game on Logjam, Ora Elektro got to be thinking, like, this isn't kind of cut and dry. We ain't done yet, you know? We got an uphill struggle to fight against still.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bunch of logic going up against a bunch of like steam and momentum, really, which isn't a logical thing, but it's a real thing that happens in game. So it's always weird to see how momentum works and whether or not it's going to play into the next map, or if logic prevails and your strength that you showcased on the first map actually come out ahead. And you just never know. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see. And it kind of seemed like they lost that very first round and they just never really recovered because they were just kind of in the wrong mindset where they needed to just make plays, and then they overextended and just got chewed up and it just went all to hell. Whereas on the first map, they got ahead early on and then they could just kind of play it at their own pace and they didn't need to make any kind of radical extreme plays at all, and that just suited them so much better. So I wonder if it's just a matter of who gets the first round.
I mean, it may well be. If we have a little look at the logs a second, I feel like we have some pretty telling statistics in terms of who had a comfortable game and who had a slightly less comfortable one. As we look at the top damage and the lowest damage, obviously medics excluded. We have Gunner top damaging 284 DPM, and we have Matty Azien right at the bottom. That is 158 DPM, 7 for 17. And when you have that much of a differential between the demos, and more importantly, if you look at Matty Azien process compared to Logjam, there is such a difference, and it shows like, I don't know, clearly there was just something fundamentally wrong with their mids, their understanding of the map, the way that they were moving about it. You know, he was just getting caught out way more. They weren't winning these scrappy fights, and they kind of didn't really make any adaptations. Felt like they still tried to do the same kind of thing. We saw these busts through choke, and Matty Azien just gets picked up, you know, and then, you know, one guy after another. You can't play these fights without a demo, and it kind of felt like, you know, they were just constantly trying to win fights, which they just couldn't.
Yeah, I think it's really just a matter of just they didn't prepare properly. Like, they just didn't play it quite right. They were getting caught by like soldiers jumping into the choke, like just landing on their head when they were pushing in like that, and then like demos tend to die, so that kind of stuff. And then in other fights, like Scout would just come in from the flank that they weren't watching properly. So yeah, like those little things, they can definitely add up. Charlie had another good game for sure, and Viljak is just beasting. You know, the Merc carrying here. He's one of the better players on one of the better teams. Actually, CJ's team, are they not even in the top?
No, they're not. I believe they're literally right at the bottom. Viljac's current team is, I think they got 4 points this season, so definitely rougher, but showing, you know, from an individual skill point of view, he's not exactly out of place. 25 to 11 is, you know, not stats to be ignored.
Yeah, definitely not. The Meg kill count is actually pretty even. Cast died 4 more times than Kelvin, but that's not too bad overall. And the heals per minute is very similar, so it's definitely not the medics being picked off more than the other. That's the problem here. It's just those big fights that really is making the difference, and then the demo man just getting completely crushed. Like, if you can just completely neutralize one player from the enemy team, that's very good. And demo man is a class that can just sometimes be absolutely neutralized, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like the way the demo works, you've got a real sweet spot in terms of positioning. You know, you've got to have them far enough away that your stickies will prime and kind of be able to detonate in time before they just kind of, you know, get super close range. And obviously, if they're too far away, ultimately, like, you can shoot long range, but you do about like 30 damage. So like there's a real sweet spot. And if your team keeps getting pushed back or kind of, you know, trying to move forward quickly, you can find yourself in these weird kind of halfway situations where you're never like kind of comfortable. You never have like the ammo loaded. You're never in the right kind of position. And I really feel like that was the position Matty Azien was in. He kind of, you know, it isn't like when you see those kind of stats, I feel like it's very rarely to do with an individual skill thing. It's more a symptom of how the team was moving around, right? Because I said, you know, everyone in the server has shown like individually like they're incredibly skilled. That's why they're at the top of Div 1. So I feel like it may have been more kind of a symptom of the problems Clarted were having. And, you know, either way, it's something which you can't afford to have happen because you will lose a map like that. And, you know, going into Sunshine is something they've got to be hyper aware of. They need to allow everyone on their team to be playing as well as they physically can. Otherwise, you know, they're going to get knocked down to those lower brackets.
It's a place you don't want to be. And, all right, let's talk about the middle actually a little bit here because Process... Okay, we're actually going live, so not going to talk too much, but Process and Sunshine Middle are actually pretty different because Process, we have these big buildings that kind of divide the middle into different sections, whereas on Sunshine is much more like connected everywhere. Like you can hide behind some buildings, but it's not like it's a different area of the middle. This kind of all flows together a lot more. So this could be very different here coming into it.
I think Clarter's definitely hoping for that, and they're going to be playing pretty passive, taking a lot of damage nice and early. The soldier positioning for beyond Ora Elektro is super good. Charlie goes behind, actually nukes Billjack, so that's looking good. That's a nice frag to start things off, but the damage has been dealt forward. OJ just about managing to get out, and with Lancer getting picked up as well, there's no real frags on the side of Ora Elektro at all. They're just going to have to back all the way, and losing 2 players, moving back to second. Sunshine is such an important map in terms of second, and losing players, losing frags at all. Getting something like the demo getting caught, but going to manage to pipe him down, so this is actually looking pretty good for him.
Yeah, meanwhile, Kane is actually in on middle. Oh my god, destroyed Gas. Nice job by him. He didn't actually block the middle though. This is unfortunate, but yeah, he was just a remnant from the mid fight where he was all the way in. And looks like they are now winning this fight as well. You can see a scout trying to get out. Somehow, is he actually going to make it? No. Alright, I thought Ford just made the greatest escape of his entire career. But actually, you see an Uber force coming out from cars as well. So somehow, Junu's going to be on the head of the OJ soldier, but eventually gets taken down. But yeah, massive Uber advantage now for Kelvin. So this has somehow worked out really well for them coming into the situation.
Yeah, it's been really good play from Ken already, and you know, kind of reading every situation, you know, listening to these calls. But Charlie's going to drop down, gets one rocket towards Kelvin, gets a nice and easy force there. I mean, that second rocket, you know, wasn't actually going to hit, but hey, Kelvin couldn't have known that, and he's going to be behind, getting the backup. The way these times work, if he can get this frag, it's going to be super important. He might actually stand a chance, but he's winning this 1v1, so plays down on Clarted. Really long spawns for them as well, so playing close is going to be super hard. OJ is, I don't know what he's doing towards Choke. He's going to take some damage, and he's going to have to leave to last with the rest of his team. So it's going to be a good advantage for Cars, but he's not going to quite get it in time to block second.
Yeah, you can't sit up on that high like fence by the Choke. It looked like he was trying to do that. Maybe you can like wall block it or something.
I think in a really old version you could. So maybe he's just not played Logjam. Logjam, not played Sunshine in about 10 seasons.
That works for me. As Charlie just walks out there and gets completely spammed down. That's a bit unfortunate. I don't know, maybe he was thinking they were going to do an Uber push because they did have a bit of an Uber advantage on them, but yeah, no one else was out with him, so maybe he just feels baited, and maybe he was making a call and no one was following them. It could be a bit of dysfunction that we might be able to just spot there in the play. Because when people make those kind of weird plays that don't really seem to make any sense, it's usually because there's some sort of miscommunication going on, and like it makes sense from his own perspective what he's doing. As the soldier tries to jump in, but Lancer, he got the pipe there really nicely, so he isn't able to get in there. So now we're gonna have to be one person down. But yeah, that was just a normal suicide. So someone could go sniper, he could go banner, lots of options.
Yeah, exactly. They have any number of different things they can do. We still have this defensive engineer up for the side of Clarted, so. You know, that gun's going to be towards point. It kind of controls lower, controls right hand side pretty well. So I feel like at this point, maybe Sniper might be one of the best things to see. But we're actually going to see currently Junior's just checking some classes right now on Spy, just waiting to see exactly what's going to happen. Maybe he'll choose to off-class. Maybe he's a massive brain. He might recognize that Charlie's also checking classes. And I genuinely think, oh, okay, Charlie was the one to change first. If Junior now goes Sniper, he's actually Brain of Britain. Or Finland.
Yeah.
One of those.
That would be...
He's done it! He's actually done it!
Wow.
Junu's actually a genius. He is metagaming Charlie to absolute hell. He's going to hit a nutty shot.
Yeah, for sure, right? Like, everyone's just going to be looking behind. Yeah. Look at them. They're just spamming the corners right now. They are just so sold on this Spy. This is perfect from Junior. So he's going to get one opportunity to just go in there and get one clean shot off on Sniper. So let's see if he can actually make the best of it. He also needs to hit his shot, but he's done the first part of his job already.
Yeah, super important. We're getting a lot of space towards lobby for both these soldiers. SMG's been shot, so they are going to know that there's a sniper up now. That is going to be incredibly obvious for the entirety of Clarted. So the element of surprise is now gone, but he's still here. He's still able to peek and prod and, you know, try and take some position. I feel like this left-hand side might be pretty good.
Wow,
ooh,
what a shot.
First headshot there. That's super nice. Taking down Charlie. That's going to be super important in terms of how well Clarted can hold these doorways. And it does look like left's going to be the start of where they're going to. OJ is going to be playing nice and close, taking some damage, though. This gun is going to deny pretty well, but not completely. Still got some serious risks, and you see how deep Junior's peeking.
Do you think Charlie's just thinking, man, the Ambassador does a lot of damage these days?
Yeah, it does. Crazy. Crazy how that happens.
Yeah, they've actually spammed them out now again. And we actually do see a banner here on Lancer. So he's just building that. And another headshot comes out here. The Ambassador just tyrannizing Charlie. Just letting him in here. There's going to be another peek in there. This time around, he's going to get bounced around enough for him to not be able to get out alive. And you can see a pretty aggressive sentry position. Like, it's on the point. So if anyone peeks in from any of the two right side doors, they're just going to get shot at almost immediately. So it's a nice sentry gun position. I like those very aggressive sentry gun spots whenever you're holding pretty far forward.
Yeah, it's kind of the same as like the forward sentry spot on Process. Very, very similar in terms of kind of positioning and what it denies. So it's nice, but OJ's in, he gets the rocket! Oh my god, Kelvin's actually going to force it. He was terrified that rocket's going to hit. He does not want to be in a frag video, but as a result, he's going to cause his team to have a massive, massive Uber disadvantage. Amazing that OJ managed to get through so cleanly there. So big old Uber advantage for Cars. OJ even getting some nice spawns here, up in one. All they need to do is get rid of the sentry and start moving forward. Looks like they're going to start moving towards the back, taking a little bit of space, but Junior once again up on Sniper, not going to make this easy for them. He's got such a nice angle into upper, and he's going to get this headshot on Cars! That's such a sick angle, and he hits it!
Really great shot. KN's in behind, but he's going to get taken down. Man, that is just a huge game changer right there. Cars getting taken down. Now, it's not going to be an Uber just yet. Kelvin, he's on about 70%, so I think you're just going to wait it out. You know, sometimes you can go with just heals, but I think when you're going up against a sentry gun and everything else into a last push, I think you're better off just getting the Uber, and that's what they're going to do. So they're just going to take it slow, just see which door they choose to go in. That's going to be the right one.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to walk through nice early use. Really, really important to conserve your health early on here, so they're going to be moving some sticks away from point. Only now do they see this gun, so they're going to spam it down. They've lost their sniper, but that doesn't make a huge deal of difference. They're going to be playing so many towards this top right side with this pyro from Gazy's just actually nuking. He takes out Gunnar and Kelvin. Jack dying as well. It's just all going to be on Lanza right now, playing towards lobby. He does jump in, he gets some decent damage on a couple players, but he's just going to get focus fired down. And I mean, it was looking good for a little bit, but the repush from Clarted was just too strong.
Yeah, some nice surfs coming out there from Maddie as well. He's just getting jumped by the final soldier. He's going to make it in there. So now it's going to be a huge Uber advantage. Spawners are still coming in. So if they're really brave, they can just go into middle already. Just to kind of dot push it a little bit. To go in like slightly before you get the Uber. And I think they should be fine. Looks like they're going to go into the cafe area. It's really good because you can go in through two different doors. And nobody checked up top, which kind of annoys me, but there is no one sitting up there, so they get lucky. But Roy is not lucky. He's going to find himself at the end of a bullet there. And he's going to get taken down, but losing a single scout in this push is probably fine. So
I was going to say, I feel like that one scout frag is really important because Kelvin's actually about to get Uber as well, so maybe that slowed things down just enough to effectively equalize here. So, you know, kind of you get one player, then you kind of, you know, spawn back, whatever. You've got this equal Uber situation once again. Like I said, this is about 9 minutes into this game, still 0-0, so at this point, you know, keeping some control, never losing more than one kind of point at a time is really, really important in terms of, you know, not letting things kind of get away from you. Because I feel like Sunshine as a map, if you let them get like a couple points in a row, things can really just get out of control.
Yeah, and you know, my prediction was that whoever won the first round was just going to win it because they just play so differently. So yeah, we still don't know who's going to be my theoretical winner. Could just take forever. We actually currently have Rory going to be sniping here from oh wait, this is cafe area, yep. And he will not be able to find anything just yet. We do see a sorted Charlie hiding in the corner. I don't think they realize that he's been standing there for quite a long time. So I don't think anyone actually realizes that that's in there. So they're probably going to send it in the sniper at some point to see if they can bait it in. That is, if he's alive, and currently he is not.
Little bit different, you know. Junior's still showing he is right now king of the snipers in terms of this game. I mean, Finnish sniper mains are kind of absolutely crazy, still peeking towards his choke point, and you see Matty is like hyper aware of what's happening. He feels like he really has to keep this choke point locked down, but as a result, Lanza gets her in the flank, but his sack doesn't really get anything. Junior as well, getting chased heavily by the scout. He's going to be picking up this frag, but will lose his life as well. So, oh my lord, the soldier gets in, one rocket towards
Kaz is down.
Oh my god, how's this happening? It's so dirty, and Kelvin drops as well!
Just everyone dropping all their Ubers. It's the heaviest thing in the entire world. Nobody can hold on to it. And now we're going to see some soldier fights coming in. It's going to be a soldier versus a demo. Soldier's just going to get out of there. He wants some extra help. So where's he going to go with this? He's definitely going to be able to block mid with the help of the scout. So Gona, he's just going to have to get out of here. We've seen Gona be a bit too aggressive a couple of times, but it looks like this time around he's just going to reel it in. And actually, he sort of went down super weak there to some scout pelting going on. And OJ might try to go for a play on his own, but I think it's just going to be some spam coming in here. Nope, he actually will.
I feel like right now this heals advantage for Kaz. Like they should know they have some better health right now. It's looking pretty good for them. We did see this deep bomb from KN, but he's getting picked up along with Chunu and I believe that was Viljak as well. So this is looking so difficult. There's no scouts at all, no real off classes or anything. Uber's not up on the side of Kaz, but they don't need it just yet. The soldier's jumping deep, gets one rocket towards Kaz. Kaz is just surfing away, absolutely doesn't care at all. Still playing forward with his team, still healing. It's so much on his team right now to hit the shot, but Matty is hitting absolutely every one of them. And we will see finally after about 11 minutes our first round. And I mean, it was crazy how it happened, but it was really nice from Clarted in the end.
Yeah, indeed, they made the best of a very chaotic situation there. They took a very aggressive fight again, and we've seen that really backfire on them a couple of times. So I think it's really important for them, not just because they got the point, but just also for their mental well-being, that they actually managed to win that situation, because it has been a big problem for them.
Exactly, so after losing last map, now going one round up, when this map's going to be super important, and they could be getting some nice soldier aggression now, jumping pretty deep to try and make things happen, but it's going to be damage on the side of Ora Elektro looking slightly better. They've already picked up Matty, and Charlie's going to be super weak towards top. He will eventually get an arrow, but oh my lord, these rockets are, go casino right now. Lanza's hitting everything he needs to.
Oh, that was so tragic from OJ, man. He was standing literally like inches behind his own medic, who was like looking in front of him. I guess the medic indicator glitched out or something, and then the medic just turns around, and then he just gets pistoled from across the map, and he dies. That was funny. And Soda's actually in onto the medic. Nice dodging right there. He's just gonna do some really nice serves. Great job there. But yeah, Soda came in, got a nice attempt there onto the medic's life, but will not manage to get it. But yeah, now he can go sniper or banner or whatever they want.
Yeah, they've got opportunities. They've got different things they can do. And honestly, right now, being a round down, it's super important to be in this situation where they are kind of just outside of Clarted's last on the side of Ora Elektro. So it kind of feels like the situation where if they can make one good thing happen, they can equalize, and suddenly they're back in the game. They're feeling comfortable.
Juno's doing it again, I think. He's actually like being spy in spawn, and currently I guess he's checking for if anyone else is spy on their team, I guess, and now he's a sniper again. So he's done the same thing that he did before, and let's see if it works. And
officially was not an accident. He is a mastermind. However, Vori is going to be a double mastermind. I believe that's what it's called. He is checking anyway, so they're going to be hyper aware of things in terms of different angles. The sniper can peek definitely. Kaz is not going to be dropping that same angle again. I mean, that was a sick shot, but I feel like Kaz has stored that in his little memory box right now. He's going to be like, right, let's not peek there again, and instead it's going to have to be a case of Juni moving a little bit further forward, getting some deeper peeks, possibly towards this right-hand side. Some deep angles, but Vori's going to be winning the 1v1, so nice shot from him, neutralizing this sniper threat, and he can peek and try and get something a little bit further.
Yeah, we also see Charlie actually adapting to the situation a little bit, so he's actually gone for the battalion's backup, which will give him more health, which means it's more difficult to headshot him down. But also, if you can actually build the entire banner and get that to pop that, you can just run into a sniper and he can't crit you. He'll do like 55 damage or something. Actually, I think like if you fully headshot someone and they have the banner, it'll do like 135 or something. I think, maybe. It's something like that. It just destroys Sniper basically, as long as you stay inside the zone of control. Yeah, Lancer is also actually on a banner. He's on the Conqueror, so different banners being worked right now, and the Conqueror is usually considered a more aggressive banner, whereas the Battalion's Back is a much more defensive banner. So it all makes sense. You know, I always like when people just play properly the way it's supposed to do. And Juno is he's back on Sniper.
He is. He's going to see if he can hit a couple more shots. We still have Vori sniping this entire time. Does look like top right from the attacker's point of view is the most kind of important, the most kind of contested ground right now. Both teams want to try and get some control of it because obviously you can get some nice long angles there. But no one's really kind of going that little bit too far forward. They're just kind of playing these middle grounds. I do feel like this left-hand side should be... It makes the most sense where Junior's going to start going. If he can get some kind of shot on that soldier, it's so good. But you see the way that Clarted are rotating their soldiers. The second one does weak, you know, they're rotating them around, healing up, and then the next one goes, you know, keeping that like heavy rotation on. And it's super important the way they're playing it. It's really nice to see.
If they actually realize where Cars is holding, you can actually send a soldier from the bottom. It's really easy to get onto the medic from bottom if they can actually distract enough for them. Like so far Charlie has been doing a really good job, but they are doing that rotating soldier jib. And so they will be able to get in there. The sentry will also be shooting at them, but it will be propelling you into the medic actually. So there's actually a really nice job. What a shot from Juno onto Vori.
Yeah, super nice hitting that shot, but it's not going to save him from all the spam, so he'll lose his life. No snipers on the field. Everyone's going to shoot him more spam, but it's actually going to be Kelvin using this Uber, so that immediately changes the dynamic here. They would manage to take down this gun, but it's a significantly better Uber for Cars.
Oh, Gona.
Gona as well. Oh my lord, Charlie can some absolute mad damage here, but they've still got this height differential to play with. If they want to move through the shutter, they've got to start taking a slightly better high ground position, not to let these soldiers jump down. It looks like they want to try and commit onto this. It's super important.
Conqueror has been blown, though.
Yeah, banners out. They're looking good so far, but Lancer gets taken down, so Conte ain't going to do nothing no more. He's lost his life, and yeah, you see the rest of them. Ora Elektro's just got to scatter.
Matty hit some really nasty pipes right there. Like the second pipe kill he got was really crazy good. Like that just killed the entire fight for them, and just the fact that they managed to take down the banner soldier immediately, that really allowed them to win that fight, because it will just snowball out of control. People take less damage because they're fast. They will move into you and do more damage, and they will heal back up very quickly. So if you don't deal with them immediately, you will just completely destroy your team. But they did just that. It's going to be another Uber equilibrium here with a sniper on one team. It's going to be Juno. Juno's playing a lot of sniper this map. I feel like he's spent like 50% the entire map on sniper at least.
Yeah, there's gonna be some nutty statistics in terms of how long he's actually ended up playing scout. I feel like at this point he has just accepted he is a sniper main now. We don't need scout anymore. But he's picking up Charlie though. The threat of the sniper forces Charlie to start trying to jump super deep, and just a little bit too far he jumped. So he's going to be dying as well, and it's going to be opportunity for Ora Elektro to start moving forward, try to take some position. Lancer hitting some good rockets on low again. The pack as well. He might even pick up OJ. Super good. He might even be able to get behind, and you see Matty again so far forward from he's just so far away from the rest of his team. He's going to die before this Uber even gets used, and it's another one of these situations where Demo goes down for clarted. There's so much better in Uber for Kelvin.
Wow, scouts get the force. Yeah, Vori kind of saves the entire situation there. Like, his team was just already out, so he was just the only man in there, and he actually gets the force out. So that will completely save this last hold. I think there's a sentry gun up already. Okay, it's only level 1. It's being spammed down. He's just going to switch off. But yeah, that just saved everything, because as you said, that was a complete disaster for them up until then.
It really was. It feels like if they could just manage to, if they could have held on to that Uber, like that would have been an equalizer round. But little mistakes. We said it before, we'll say it again. These tiny little mistakes can make all the difference, especially in these crucial times in the map. So looks like we're in the same situation again. Ora Elektro is going to be sitting outside the clarted last, and they're just going to try and make something happen. Once again, Juno is on spy. Does he fake things and end up on the sniper? What's the prediction?
I predict that he's going to keep playing spy, because he's already on last, basically. He's already in there. So, maybe he's just faked them out by just sitting in spawn so long as spy. This time around, they're just going to see him on spy and go like, oh, okay, so he's just doing the same thing again. But no, he is in already. He's unfortunately kind of low on cloak, so he's gonna have to sit around for quite a long time before he can get into a good position behind the enemy team. And it looks like they might be spy checking here, so I think they're on to him, and they did do some checking in spawn as well. So wish him luck, ladies and gentlemen.
It's so hard, but you know, this is kind of a similar situation to when we saw OJ playing Spy for so long on Logjam. Like worst case scenario, he can get information, he can tell his team where the medic is, where people are peeking, you know, try and keep things a little bit more stable in terms of the information. But going to be Gunnar trying to peek towards his left-hand side. He's taking his heals, he's trying to get some damage towards this gun, because obviously, as long as this gun stays alive, it makes things difficult for everyone in terms of jumpers, in terms of spies, in terms of all of that. But Charlie's actually all the way into upper lobby, gets one rocket. Kelvin doesn't quite use. Oh my lord, that's such a milk, and so important to take down this gun as well.
That is just ballsy beyond belief. Like, he was just inches away from being just decked by a third rocket there. Just gonna force him out, but no, he held on to it. Juno has also gone down while all that was happening. So they kind of suspected it. And actually, there we go. Lance is gonna jump in, and he will get the force off of Cars. Cars is very weak right now, and you see the sword is jumping in. Charlie's super weak. He was trying to go out there and maybe salvage the situation, but he is unable to do so. So as long as Kelvin doesn't get forced immediately here, this could be a very good push, and this is to equalize it. Whoever wins this map will move on to the next round in the upper bracket. So everything's on the line right now, and they are down one round at the moment, but one good last push and they could be all in it.
Yeah, going to be moving through lower, using nice and early, really important once again. Similar kind of thing, got to keep help, but this gun's taking down going at point. Actually not being covered by the sentry, so that's going to focus so many players toward point. There's so much damage being dealt. KN is absolutely nuking the point, but just ultimately, we're going to end up with more players alive on the side of Carter. This gun's still alive too, so this push, I feel like it could have gone so well for Ora Elektro, but they're not quite able to decide what they want, I feel. And Gunnar dying to that gun is just unforgivable.
Yeah, he got a little bit too far ahead of his medic, and I think like Kelvin, I didn't quite watch him the entire time, but you think he would be able to just keep up with him there. But yeah, it's very unfortunate. Losing your demo man to the sentry gun is very, very unfortunate, and that would have definitely opened everything up. Like just the fact that he could have skied off the point, even if he didn't kill the sentry gun. Like, because as you could see there from that push, they didn't actually need to kill the sentry gun to put pressure onto the point. So maybe the play was to just ignore the sentry gun. But either way, just losing your demo man is such a big deal. Fortunately, they don't get pushed on here because didn't have a whole lot of advantage to work on with. So yeah, they get to start over. So now need to do it again. Need to get all the way in there, see if you can get another force out. And meanwhile, don't mess up. And he's gonna die right here. Do we have some revenge crits going on?
Oh my lord, I think we might, but it doesn't matter because Charlie's just jumped in, got a super easy force on Kelvin. That was kind of basically uncontested, you know. He just caught Kelvin not quite all the way out, and you know, those middle grounds, it's an absolute killer on medics. So gonna be no Uber now on the side of Ora Elektro. Charlie's gonna be spawning in just a few seconds, about 5 seconds or so. They've got big old advantage, and as long as they can take control a second, after a certain point, Carter's gonna have to start thinking to themselves, we're still a round up, you know, we can just keep playing this slower and slower and slower. If they don't push now, this shows what kind of mentality they have, you know. I feel like, I mean, they still got a gun up. They seem very uncertain about exactly what they want to do. We saw this demo playing towards Shutter. Ori's going to try and get through. Soldier's going to get jumping in. Yeah, he's going to take down... Sorry, not going to take down. He's going to be forcing Cars, but they lose their demo in all of this. And Juno as well now, so...
Viltek's running towards last. Scrappy. Okay, there's a sentry gun and everything. And oh my god, he has actually did 158 to that scout. That's really good. Lances onto the medic. He's going to try and pistol him down. Doesn't hit a single one of them. That's embarrassing.
That's unlucky. That's just unfortunate, okay? The gun's got weird RNG spread. Don't blame him. Unlucky, bro. Unlucky.
Indeed, we've all been there. It's not fun sometimes to deal with.
It is what it is. But yeah, Kelvin's going to be on his 80% Uber, actually nearly 90. Wow. 35, 40 or so advantage, so it is pushable, and it's kind of a situation where, you know, there's still a lot of time to go, but they kind of got to push off everything. Charlie jumping deep, gets one rocket, 2. Kelvin just about lives, but will be using his Uber, so, you know, one Uber's getting used to get one frag, but Billjack died to these stickies. Just rough. Gazy's on the flank as well. You have both these Carter players playing so far behind Juno. If he gets taken down on second, could be absolutely catastrophic, but he picks up that all-important frag. There's still one, again, super deep behind. I mean, how's Cars and Matty AZN dying here? I guess they were just going for the full commit, but that actually, honestly, this could be a round.
Yeah, I think OJ might have just baited them completely, going like, no, I can get this, block it, and just went all in, and yeah, it didn't work out at all. Okay, they're missing time on second right now, which is really crucial, because if they could just put time on last, it would have been an easy round for them, but it looks like it might just be enough. Pyro's not going to be able to get there in time. 1-1. That is very unfortunate coming out here for clarted.
Yeah, that's absolutely catastrophic, you know. Once again, one little mistake, you know, coming a little bit too hard, you suddenly, you know, your combo's nowhere on mid, nowhere on second, you barely spawn for last, and, you know, it took about 20 minutes to get there, but we have our all-important equalizer. So now with 5 minutes left to go, it is literally everything to play for.
Whoever wins this goes on into the top bracket, that's for sure. Both teams being very apprehensive right now. We see K, and he's up on the high ground. Finally, he's going to jump in, but he doesn't really commit. And so far, it's just been a fight for the bell tower. Charlie's actually going to come in now. He's going to come in from the flank. He's going to do a big bomb onto the demo man. He's way out of the middle, and looks like Cloud has gotten so much ground that they're just going to get mid for free.
It is going to be some nice damage, some nice shot being hit there. Ultimately, they didn't pick up Kelvin, so as long as Kelvin can keep control of his Uber, I mean, it's rough. He's actually going to go down. What a bomb from Max Yen. That's so important, and everyone knows the rule on Sunshine is if you feed on second, you will lose last. And right now, this looks to be a round, but Juno's going to jump behind. He might actually be able to block this a little bit. He gets one shot.
Wow.
He's going to keep things delayed just a little bit, but is it enough for his team? I argue quite possibly not.
It doesn't look likely, but it's a good play either way. And actually, Matty going down, that's really huge, because now he can sticky off the point. And that is the easiest way to just leverage an Uber advantage, is to just put players on the point, sticky it, you have Uber. Like, it's so hard to deal with, but when those things are not in the play, it's going to be a lot more difficult. Looks like they're actually going to wait for him to respawn before they make the push, which it makes a lot of sense. They will still have the Uber advantage, but it's going to be a lot smaller. So at this point, like before, they could just afford to ignore the medic, whereas now they might have to focus him down before he built it fully.
Yeah, quite possibly about a 30% advantage, so like you said, not the easiest thing in the world, especially not against a heavy and a gun. Gun's not fully built though, so it can make things a little bit easier. Got to get some damage towards this heavy. They will actually not even manage to pick him up. They'll just about get him now. This gun's going down 90% on Kelvin, and they're starting to get a frag. You see them just by stabilizing, but this flag from OJ is so important. Kelvin's got no hill targets, and that's going to be the second round. So important, that flank there, but it was perfectly timed.
Yeah, they did a really good job of just retreating back out once things got a little bit dicey, and then they came in from several different sides and just managed to get down the DM fight and win out in the end. So really well played there by them. It wasn't the cleanest push I've ever seen, but the overall structure of it was really nice, and they managed to win out in the end. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. 2-1 with 2.5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, we have to see a good mid for beyond Ora Elektro right now. They're going to be playing some height on the midpoint, so looking pretty good. Taking some big spam though already. They will get the first frag. Charlie will be going down. They do have a lot of position towards this left-hand side. This deep bomb from KN is so good, but he gets cleaned up if he can hit this second rocket. And as long as Kaz and the rest of his team can just heal up, they should. I mean, there's no reason why they should even be losing control of mid here yet. These rockets are going to be damaging both these scouts, and yeah, Kelvin's just got to get out of choke. Juno actually gets hit by such a crucial shot. Whoa. Kelvin as well. Oh, this might be the beginning of the end for Ora Elektro.
We've seen this a couple of times where they just stay into a middle or a fight or a point a little bit too long, and then when they try to retreat, they just get chased down. Like, clarted, they're extremely good at hunting down prey. Like, they would be good in a primordial jungle, I feel like. They just leave nothing behind. Like, they will get every one before they ever get out alive. And now they're going to have a full Uber advantage to work with. Actually, you see it's super aggressive play right now. We kind of, yeah, they actually have to do this. So we actually see a push out against an Uber advantage, and they have to just deal with the wraparound and everything.
Yeah, this is such a brutal potential ending for a game. They're losing so many players. You see Kelvin just desperately trying to go for swords, but with all these clarted players towards the point, there's effectively nothing they can do. They'll get taken down. Third round will go up on the board, and now it is physically impossible. Clarted will be your winners here. 3-1 on Sunshine, 2-1 for map scores.
I didn't think it would be a very interesting game after that first map where they won 5-0 in 17 minutes. That is pretty incredible that we actually got a really good game out of it, because that second map 4-1, and then on this map it was just 0-0 and 1-1 for such a long time. But Clarted just barely managing to win out in the end here. There was definitely, like that last middle, there was just a bunch of really great blobbing going on. And yeah, okay, I'm not really paying attention to the middle. I think there's a pyro around. Good stuff.
I think there's a pyro, there's a heavy. People are just kind of doing something. KN's going to walk in, he's going to try and get some more damage on the logs, even if it is just a damage taken.
Pyro versus heavy.
Bombed. And he wins it. See, this is a huge brain play. Pyro now better than heavy. Write it down in your notebooks. Let's go. And it's going to wrap things up for the game. So, like I said, good stuff from Clarted come the end, but it was super even for the longest time. It was I feel like really a couple mistakes here and there. You know, if people just slightly kind of read situations just a little bit differently, it really could have gone either way.
It definitely could. There was a lot of really tiny mistakes that ended up just snowballing out of control for both teams. And if either team just had a slightly better situation in a couple of these very little moments, then it could have completely turned around. But at the end of the day, looked like just a slightly stronger team play, at least in a lot of the team fights on Clarted's side, and that will be enough to just secure a win for them in the end. So big congratulations to them.
Yeah, I think we got some logs to look at just a second. I mean, biggest difference is we've gone from bottom damaging to top damaging on Matty AZN. Obviously, super important play taking down Kelvin, but you know his damage output was far more consistent. It seems like he got those much nicer positions. Whereas Gona, on the other hand, you know, he didn't have like the lowest in terms of damage output, but 4 for 9, and it felt like really these three maps. It was a tale of kind of. Not tell of demos in terms of performance, but I feel like the demos on each team were a real signifier for how the game was going for the team, whether or not they had control and whether or not they could have some form of stability. Because Goda just, you know, he's back in that situation of just so many of these situations he was just kind of completely out of place, or, you know, couldn't really achieve as much as his counterpart.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I say we start talking to them. I don't want to look too much at logs right now. I think it's much more interesting to actually just talk to people. So we've got Charlie, we've got Maddie, and we've got Rory all in here. So big congratulations, guys, on winning on this first round.
Thank you. Thank you for casting us.
It was a really interesting game from our point of view. It was obviously map by map. It seemed like a completely different experience. I guess we can go through it map by map. Kind of a open question in terms of process. That was obviously your first pick. Were you expecting it to be quite that dominating?
Yeah, the only issue I really thought was that Junior would go sniper from the beginning, but he didn't, so I think we had a pretty good time on process. We didn't really have any problems with process.
Yeah, I said it definitely seemed fairly dominating. We do actually have Juno a little bit slightly later joining for interviews. How's it going? Oh my lord, everyone is joining now.
Hello.
Hi. So we just have I guess Judy, from your point of view, obviously it was a clarted pick process, first map. Going into things, did you guys still feel fairly confident? Yeah, it wasn't your preferred pick, but did you think it would be, you know, you had slightly more up your sleeve, but you kind of slightly blown away by how it went?
Which map again?
Process.
We lost, so that kind of speaks for itself.
I guess you know, enough said. In terms of Logjam, obviously that was something you guys felt a lot more comfortable on. I'd imagine definitely looked that way. Is this would you say Logjam is just one of your best maps, or were you more kind of expecting Clarted to just be not quite as prepared on it, or what was the thought process?
I wasn't the one who decided on it, but according to Lancer, or like his thought process behind it was that they're not going to be prepared for it as much. But I don't think we would have done as well on Logjam as we did.
Fair enough. Peter, got some questions for our boys.
Yeah, I want to know exactly what happened on Logjam. Like, why did you guys struggle so much? Like, did you not prepare for it, Charlie?
We assumed that the enemy team disliked Logjam as much as we did and would ban it because it sucks, but they didn't. So we had to play it, and it was just make stuff up as we go along. and it didn't work.
I mean,
so.
we did have struts for the map, but I think like we just played it, and I think they just I don't they haven't scrimmed, so I don't think they knew the map better. But I think they just like I think they probably just had more fun on the map, so it just made it easier for them to just like play around and DM us, like, and we just ended up losing because of it, which is a shame, but it's not the end of the world.
So
You don't enjoy the map.
Yeah. So what was your mindset going into the third map? Did you just want to like erase the second map, or were you feeling kind of down?
We were alright about it. We were just like, this map's not our map. Let's go on to Sunshine where we know we can win. So we did a bit of off-classing at the end to just move it faster, and then played our map on the third game and won.
Yeah, I just wanted to say to Beyond Ora Elektro, like, I was actually really impressed with, like, considering they had 2 mercs that were like possibly of a lower skill level than the rest of their team should have been. And also Junior was playing really well, so I just wanted to say they did like really well on Sunshine, and I just want to say that in interviews because I was very impressed.
It definitely seemed like really, really competitive. Like after first map being kind of, you know, very one-sided, and kind of Logjam seeing it a little bit more the other way. Having map 3, it was 1-1 until about like 5 minutes left to go, and that's like it was really, really interesting to watch. And I feel like there's a decent chance that if there's a rematch between you guys later on in the playoffs with you know, everyone in full force, it would definitely be interesting to see how the experiences of today kind of factor into that.
Yeah, it'd be pretty good.
Yeah, I think OJ actually had something to talk about with like the future of our team, like regarding the playoffs.
Is this true, OJ? Can you confirm?
Yes, I can confirm.
So what are we doing next season then, OJ?
I think it has to be Fem, you know.
Yeah,
Maybe a bit of Highlander, maybe a bit of a freezing scrims, you know?
I might stop cutting James all the time, snaking him all the time, maybe, but you'll see. Might do a meme season, but we'll see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, I think we're pretty confident for the rest of the playoffs, and so yeah, I'm pretty sure OJ means we're going Prem, and I think if we see these guys in the like upper bracket final or whatever, I think we'll definitely be having no problem with them then, hopefully, even if they have their main players.
I think it would definitely be interesting to see. I mean, as well as obviously, you know, we've got playoffs. You know, I'm going to potentially see you guys in grand finals if you just win one more game. And obviously, we've got LAN coming up. You know, you guys are looking to go to LAN. You're looking to kind of use this playoffs as a little bit of a kind of a warm up for having a big old LAN.
I think no, we're not going to LAN, unfortunately. PokerStars pulled out at the last second, couldn't get the sponsorship down, so we're just dodging that one.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. I believe we're going to see some form of Ora Elektro at LAN. Is that true, Juno? I'm not sure how different the roster is going to be.
No.
No? My information is completely wrong. Okay, shut down. Shut down completely.
Wow.
Fair enough, you know?
My God.
It is what it is. All right, well, I feel like we've covered some important things. Unless there's anything else you wanna ask us yet, Beta, I think we might move the way of some shout-outs.
Let's hear some shout-outs.
Yeah, all right, let's do it then. Charlie, going to start off with you. Who do you want to give some shout-outs to?
Shout out to Catbugcar and James if he's watching or hearing anyway. Love that guy. And thank you for casting and the enemy team.
Good stuff. How about you, Juno?
Shoutouts to my team. Shoutouts to the enemy team. Shoutouts to Vori for doing something people don't do enough, in my opinion, which is praising their opponents, which I'm gonna do as well. You played really well. You have a very solid teamwork, and it's very difficult to play against you.
These are like the nicest interviews I think I've ever been a part of. My God. All right, Matty.
Shout out Cars. Shout out Early. Shout out OJ for being the best roamer.
Thanks, man.
No problem, bro. I got you.
Play at the end. OJ was sick. Sorry. I was just saying that the plays he made at the end of Sunshine are really good. I don't think he's going to get the praise he deserves.
Yeah, game changer.
Gotta put it in there.
I don't know.
You want to give some shout outs as well? You got a shout out back?
Yeah, sure. shout out James, good bloke. He's been with us quite a long time. I guess shout out Ora Elektro. I guess it was a good scrap we had. Pretty fun to play. And I guess shout out everyone who's watching. I guess I don't know. I don't know who else to shout out.
I think everyone more or less covers things pretty decently. How about Vori, the 500 EPM soldier man?
Absolutely. Shout out to Juno for being so nice. Shout out to my team for also being super nice. And shout out to you guys for casting this game. Thanks. I'll watch it back this evening and I'll have a great time watching it. So thank you.
Good stuff. How about you, Peter? Who are you going to give some love to?
Well, I can't believe how nice all these British people are being. This is
what's up with this?
Yeah. All confusing. And I guess I'll just remind everyone that I'm still doing the demo call for the least serious demo call ever, where you can submit demos from literally anything. I don't care if it's a pub. I don't care if it's 4v4 or weird Saxton Hale mods. I don't care. All right, if it's cool, I want to see it. That's on Team Fortress TV forums. But other than that, just a big shout out to Wiethoofd for producing everything, and always fun casting.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll round things up. We'll do some shout outs, obviously, to you, Peter. It's always good casting with you. It's I'd say it's been a little while with all your mic problems, but it was good casting alongside you. Obviously, Wiethoofd doing production. Charlie, Matty, OJ, and Vori for doing some interviews, because it's always great having that bit of insight with the players, and especially when people are so respectful,
Geezers.
Yeah, exactly. Top geezers, and shout out to the viewers. Obviously, there's going to be some more playoff coverage happening between, I believe, Critscast and TF2 over the next few weeks, and obviously, make sure everyone keeping aware of all the updates in terms of Copenhagen land. Oh my god! Bless you. Yeah, Copenhagen land's going to be coming up. We've got some new info in terms of some monitor rentals and stuff like that. If you want to, just a monitor instead of computers, so make sure people keep paying attention to that. We got, I believe, LAN TF is going to be working and everything now as well. Check the forums, check the Discord, check all that kind of stuff. But until our next playoff game, I guess we'll see you next time.
Hi, old beaver, away!